probably less numerous than today. Highs in the upper 50s and low 60s. After that, things will begin to improve. It's partly cloudy Friday night, lows 45 to 50, becoming mostly sunny Saturday, highs 75 to 80, and a mix of sun and clouds Sunday with highs in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow Jones is up 310 points at this hour. The NASDAQ up 195, and the S&P is up 46 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
The decision to relocate for a job goes beyond the numbers.
Who's going to go with you, and do they want to go?
Rick Cobb of the workplace consulting firm To Discern says pay, cost of living, and education play a role, but your family must be on board.
If you have a spouse, partner, kids, family, and they're not interested in going or reluctant to go, the chances of you succeeding in that relocation are very low.
I'm Rob Hart.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Tune in to How to Retire with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. Finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs, Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog and your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Northeast Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older, be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work, be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
If you're struggling to hear conversations, TV, or the people you love, now there's an easier, more affordable solution without spending thousands. Audion Hearing makes high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98 with free shipping and dedicated one-on-one support in the comfort of your own home. No doctor's offices, no pressure. Clearer hearing delivered right to your door. Join over 1 million happy customers hearing life more clearly. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio, right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! You ready to go? What's going on, scallywags, nutmeggers, conversationalists, and of course, a whole lot of you today, you haters. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. Which one of you were waiting with bated breath? Which one of you? Which one of you were waiting with bated breath? Sitting up there, 2 o'clock, get here. 2 o'clock, get here. Get here, 2 o'clock. Because I know that many of you are going, what's Reese going to say? How's he going to react? Is Reese going to lay this all out in a way that we didn't predict? No. I'm going to do something I have to do after the fact. So, I'm sitting at Stadium 15, and it is a local hangout for me and for Roseanne, and our friends, our very dear friends, hang out there, and we're always there. Now, you all know that myself and Roseanne, we do not drink. And our friends do. And our friends have finally become like, I know you don't drink. Are you okay? We drink. Like, no, we're fine. But we love our friends. And the owners, Pete and Dana, they have become personal friends of ours. So when we hang out there and we tell people that we hang out there, we know that the audience is like, hey, never heard of the place. So they come by and they hang out with us, and it brings business. We kind of feel somewhat invested in it. That's how we came up with the idea to hold the debate at Stadium 15, because of my relationship with Dana and how much we love the place and what they do. And we always pay. In fact, anyone around town will tell you that where we frequent, we do not ask them to comp us. We will not. We support them and we pay our bills. So one day, maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the debate was coming up, someone who heard me talking about Stadium 15 shows up. Roseanne and I walk in, and the couple recognizes us immediately. And we see them whispering to each other. I think that's him. I think that's Roseanne. I think that's them. And I wasn't put off by it, but I was like, gee, I hope that they don't think that we're like Brad and Angelina. Just say hi. And sure enough, the wife speaks up and she goes, my husband listens to you all the time. He just loves your show. And I was like, oh, thank you. What's your name? So we walk up to him and we start talking to him. Anyway, night progresses. The guy walks over to me privately. I'm in a conversation with another friend of ours, and he walks over and he taps me on the shoulder. He said, hey, Reese, can I talk to you for a minute? And by this time, it had already been established that Erin was not going to do the debate. He said, hey, Reese, can I ask you a question? And I thought he was going to ask, whatever. He seemed to want to have a private conversation with me. And this individual, who I know is listening, will vouch for this because he works from home, and his wife says that she can hear me on his stereo downstairs. So I know he's listening. And he says to me, Reese, what do you think of this whole Erin thing? Folks, 2 weeks. 2 weeks before the debate. I say to him, the campaign's over. I said, it'll happen after the debate, but it is over. He said, you think? I went, no, I know. I said, I absolutely know. And he goes, what makes you think that? I said, the story's not over. At that point, we were at the tax collector issue. So the story's not over. We were already getting tipped off. I don't know who was. I can't speak for Brian and company. He and I never had that exchange. But there were plenty of people in my circle. Hell, I'll even give some props. Mark in West Hartford. People were talking. People in the news media were talking. Which, by the way, you guys exposed yourself in the news media. You all knew stories, and you held up on them. Some of you had exclusives before they came out, and you held up. But the word was going out, and we all knew. Those of us in the inner circle, at least my inner circle, we all knew. And I said, story's not over yet. But she's not going to make it to the convention. What did you all say to me when I said it? What did you all say? Oh, she's the nominee. I don't care what you say, Reese. That's how it goes here. She's the nominee. I said, okay. Did I force myself on the issue? Did I force my idea on the issue? Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. No. I said, okay. I said, all right. But 2 weeks before the debate, I knew it was over. I didn't give a damn what anybody else saw. I've done this for too long. I know exactly how this works. I know exactly who the players are because I found out who they were incrementally during my time here. I got here at the end of October, and I was already working behind the scenes to find out who was who and what was what. And I knew everything as it went on. From every move that every candidate made, I knew what was going on. And I'm sorry, folks, tell number one was no debate. And I did everything I could to play it cool. It's no big deal. Okay. Number two was the obvious. The reaction to my article, when I got word of the reaction to my article, my Substack. Go back and read it. That reaction said everything. I already knew that there were problems. And then it just openly progressed. I also knew that the people who were dropping the bombshells, if you will, you guys can suggest that it's, Mayor Sanchez or the Lamont campaign or the media overall. Let me be the first to tell you, by the way, the media didn't want to touch this. They were slow walking this, and they were going to slow walk it until after the convention because they were going to embarrass the Republican Party. That's what they were going to do. But I told you that the objective was to keep them from doing that. Erin played a smart role in that when she said that it was bogus, it was false, and they were coming after her and it was a hit job. It would have looked like one. She would have made their case if they had done it after she received the nomination, if indeed she did get it. If they had dumped it afterwards, everything that she had said would have been true. So the press had to respond. This organization doing the independent audit had to respond. They could not hold it anymore and release it after she got the nomination because then everybody would have known it was a hit job. So they were forced to release it early. The plan was always to release it after. But it had to be done. It could no longer be a leak. It had to be boom. And it had to be done immediately. And it was. And again, I understand how these things work. The slow drip would have taken the credibility away from the investigation. And the investigation doesn't need that either. So here we are. And I don't want to, by the way, for all the people who came at me and said, Reese, you don't know what you're talking about. She's going to be the nominee. I don't need you to apologize. I don't need you to say that you were wrong. I don't. Okay? And let me explain to you why. I already knew you were. I don't have to rub it in your face. There was nothing to rub in your face. You had an opinion and you expressed it. And I have your back there. And I wasn't trying, again, to rub it in your face. I know better than you. No, I just know. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't know. But I told you yesterday, as I've been telling you as we approach this, that the moment has got to come where you got to bench the quarterback. Thankfully, and I'm saying this with all due respect, Erin did the right thing and she benched herself. Whoever convinced her to keep this from being sloppy at the convention, if it was her, if it was her team, if it was her family, it was a smart move. And we appreciate her doing that. Now the convention goes on. And by the way, if there are some delegates out there who are upset or angry or ticked off and you had your best laid plans, please go to my forthcoming book, Want to Make God Laugh, Make Plans, by Reese on the Radio. Those plans are over. And now you have to adapt. Take all the personal stuff out of it. Do you want to win? I know you do. So dust yourself off. Scream into a pillow. We got work to do. When you start making this thing personal, instead of doing a public service, which is what we have been entrusted to do, is to serve the people. If you get that twisted, we lose. Let the press do what the press does. Make them make the spectacle of it that's going to be the spectacle. But I told you there is a process in all of this, and there's a focus that is more important than anything else. And that's winning in November. I've already got naysayers telling me now, sure, I think Lamont's got a chance of winning now. Okay. Okay. The crazy part about it is the person who just told me that, I want you to hear me out. The person who came to me and said, yeah, Lamont's going to win re-election, 30 minutes earlier said to me, do you think she's going to drop out? And I said, yeah, she'll drop out this afternoon. Really? I went, yeah. 30 minutes later, she dropped out. And then told me, I think Lamont's, really? I'm going to put my money on you again? Am I supposed to do that? Am I going to put my money on you again? I don't think so, folks. I wish people would understand not so much about how it worked, but paid more attention to how it works. You see my point? How it works. There is something to glean from this. Ryan Fazio is going to be the nominee. Are we all good on that? Are we all okay? I hope so. Because today I want to address a couple of things that are related to that. Let me start by saying this. All of you people who are telling me that Erin had the best chance to win, I've got one question. How do you know? Where's your evidence? Two questions even. Where's your evidence of that? I'd love to hear it. And you know the telephone number, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. You know this? And by the way, when you call, have those 6 numbers handy for Powerball. I'd love to buy a house. Wouldn't we all? I know what it is that people think. I'm okay with that. Everybody can do that. Anyone can do that. Here's what I think. But please stop telling me what you know. You don't know who can win this race. You have no clue. No offense, but 48 hours ago, you didn't think Erin would drop out. So what I would do is take the L, back up, rethink this, and say, okay, clearly things have changed. Clearly things can change in an instant, even. Now you got to ask yourself, are you going to be a prognosticator or are you going to be a doer? Now you got to ask yourself, are you going to get out there and you're going to help this man win? Now you got to ask yourself, are you going to cry over spilled milk? Or take Erin's suspension of the campaign personally and say, I don't want to play anymore. You're going to take your ball and go home? Or are you going to pull up your pants, get your shoes on, not your Crocs, real shoes, and start stomping the yard? I'm going to be there. Are you? I told you guys in the beginning I was not going to be the guy who's going to be jumping behind the microphone to complain. I was going to be behind the microphone telling you about the place and the places that I've been, spreading the word, getting into the debates, hashing it out, convincing others, winning hearts and minds. And then get back here and express that message to you. When we come back, we have to talk about the downside of what happened today. I don't want anyone to think that this is an opportunity to gloat. Erin Stewart is a young mother. She's got 2 young kids and a husband. And what's coming is going to be devastating. I know there's some people out there who believe that she brought this on herself. But we have to acknowledge what led to this. You and I all know a bunch of people here in the state who have become a victim of their own self, and have fallen prey to this. But that's because somebody forgot their job. And the next break, I want to spend some time reminding them of what their role is, so they don't end up like this either. Erin Stewart is a cautionary tale, and it should be told. We'll be back. It's Reese on the radio.
Are you a commercial building owner in southern New England? Are you frustrated with your roof services? Contact Eagle Rivet Roof Service today. Our skilled technicians provide tailored roof repair and maintenance programs to maximize your building's lifespan with 24/7 emergency response and comprehensive service.
Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech. Plus, gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-213-5757. That's 800-213-5757.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done inside and out at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 2:30, Hartford temperature 58 degrees. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. A day from the start of this weekend's Republican state convention, Erin Stewart has suspended her campaign for governor. The former mayor of New Britain facing growing calls to step aside, as well as increased criticism over allegations she misused her city purchase card for personal items. In her statement, Stewart said, quote, "We will take accountability for any mistakes, and I intend to make full and complete restitution." She's now giving her full support in the campaign to State Senator Ryan Fazio of Greenwich. The report states Stewart rang up over $200,000 in charges, much of it on personal items, which included baby items, toys, makeup, lingerie, shoes, party favors, and more. A state police trooper from Glastonbury has turned himself in on a computer crimes charge. 36-year-old Trooper First Class Marwing Pena turned himself into state police on Wednesday. Pena charged with third-degree computer crime. Additional details about the alleged crime have not been released. Pena has been placed on administrative leave with his police powers suspended, according to state police. Tensions are escalating again near the Strait of Hormuz after a ship anchored off the United Arab Emirates was seized and taken toward Iran, and another was attacked and sunk near the coast of Oman. The incidents reported came as a senior Iranian official reiterated his country's claim to the waterway. And Vice President Vance once again highlighting the administration's efforts to combat fraud in a visit to Maine ahead of the state's primary elections for several high-profile offices. The VP, tapped by Trump to chair an anti-fraud task force, saying the misuse of government social programs is not a victimless crime, but instead a harm to every American taxpayer. WTIC News Time 2:32. Bob's got the forecast.
Our weather remains unsettled out there this afternoon. Still some on and off showers around. The chance for a downpour or some thunder. And we could see some breaks of sun as well. Highs mostly in the low 60s, some upper 50s, especially over the hillier terrain. A few scattered showers linger tonight. Lows in the upper 40s to around 50. Considerable cloudiness Friday with some breaks of sun and a couple more showers. Highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Partly cloudy Friday night. Lows 45 to 50. Nicer weather for the weekend and warmer. Mostly sunny Saturday, high 75 to 80. A mix of sun and clouds Sunday with highs in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow's up 349 points this afternoon. The NASDAQ is ahead 230 and the S&P's up 56. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Wisdom teeth giving you trouble? Columbia Dental's expert oral surgeons specialize in comfortable and efficient wisdom tooth removal. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
It's been life-changing. It really has. Went up to CQC Kinetics. I could feel the difference the way I got out of bed. I could feel the difference throughout the day. I could feel the difference while I was playing golf.
Let's rewind. That's an elated QC Kinetics patient, David Smoke, a very active TV and radio sports personality who loves to run and golf.
I started to notice some aches and pains, an aching, throbbing pain in my right hip. I didn't want to get cut on. I've had MRIs, and it showed no structural damage. I've tried the need steroid injections, and that just seemed like it kicked the can down the road.
It's that endless cycle that leaves you continually fighting joint pain in your hips, knees, shoulders, and back. But this is where it ends with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
I've tried it all. The only thing that's different is me going to QC Kinetics. I believe in it because it's worked.
Don't waste another day going in circles. Make QC Kinetics your first call. The consultation is absolutely free.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio, WTIC News Talk 1080. Erin Stewart released a statement. Let me read a little bit of it for those of you who have not had a chance. Republican gubernatorial candidate for and former New Britain Mayor Erin Stewart today released the following statement. Quote, "Today I am announcing that I am suspending my campaign for governor of Connecticut effective immediately. The continued allegations from New Britain City Hall have understandably taken over this race and diverted attention away from the critical mission of saving our state from high taxes, high cost, the most expensive energy in America, and low opportunity for young people. As I said Tuesday night, public service comes with scrutiny, and I have always accepted that. Anyone who knows me, whether from my years serving the people of New Britain, working alongside colleagues, or simply as a friend, daughter, wife, and mother, knows the kind of leader I've always tried to be. I take all the allegations that have been made against me very seriously. And for that reason, I am suspending my gubernatorial campaign effective immediately so that I can focus on addressing those claims. Yesterday, I requested copies of the relevant documents, and I will be reviewing them carefully. I will take accountability for any mistakes that I intend to make full and complete restitution to the city of New Britain, my home, for anything that I owe. It is extraordinarily difficult to make this decision because I have run an amazing campaign so far. We attracted more than 3,000 individual donors, gained commitments from over 600 delegates, assembled what I believe is the best political team in Connecticut, and I truly believe we were poised to win the convention, win the primary, and defeat Governor Ned Lamont in November. I do not have enough words to express my heartfelt gratitude and love everyone from across the state who joined our movement and believed in me personally. I know many of them are disappointed. I am too. But now is the time to step away and put my husband, our daughter, our son, my family, and their interests first. I have spoken to Senator Ryan Fazio, and informed him of my decision. I also told him that he has my full support in becoming our party's nominee. I encourage all delegates who are supporting me to now support him. This is the time for our party to come together and spend the next 6 months focused squarely on electing Republicans up and down the ballot. I've also spoken to my running mate, Tim Eckert, to let him know my decision. Tim has been a source of unceasing hope, energy, and grace and encouragement for me. I cannot adequately thank him for agreeing to be my running mate, and I will always show up for him as he has for me. It is my intention not only to suspend my campaign, but to also step back from public life as I do what is necessary to address these questions and to make things right. I cannot change the past, but I can make the next right decision. And this is it. And this is it. Thank you to my family. Thank you to my friends. Thank you to my amazing campaign team and my loyal supporters who have stood by me through so much over the last month. Erin Stewart. Now, when I posted the video today on social media and I said, this isn't over, I meant that. This is far from over for Erin. And there are some serious things to consider here. What happens to her, should this thing go any further, is going to be devastating on a woman with a young family. I know there are some people out there who are going to say what I expect them to say. You do the crime, you do the time. I get it. But it doesn't go without at least considering it. Looking at the statute for what is being alleged, the penalty for what they're accusing or alleging is larceny, embezzlement, or misuse of public funds is Connecticut General Statute 53A 119 and 53A 22. Charging personal expenses on a city credit card is classic embezzlement or larceny of public community property. Because this involved public funds and it exceeds $2,000, it qualifies as larceny in the first degree, which is a Class B felony. The public property threshold is only $2,000, not the usual $20,000 private threshold. The penalty is 1 to 20 years in prison and a fine up to $15,000. Related aggravated charges are official misconduct or corruption-related statutes under Chapter 946 could layer on if direction of tax favors is proven. That's based upon the other charge that was failure to report bribery. The outcome of all of this could be massive. I don't know whether or not there will be an automatic prison term, but a Class B felony for anything over $20,000 to $50,000 is usually certain. A plea deal will probably be reached. I would expect it. In fact, in this case, I would almost hope it. I want to look at this from 50,000 feet instead of 30,000 feet. But I can't do either. So I'm going to have to look at this as honest and straightforward as I can. Folks, especially public officials, elected officials, I want you to forget about the whole idea that Connecticut is called corrupt. I want you to forget about that, and I want you to just look at yourselves and look at the way that you behaved in your career, ever. If you got to the point where you thought, how dare somebody question you, what you do, or how you behave, you've lost the entire plot. You are not rulers of anyone. It has been said that you are the ruling class, but you're not that either. You are public servants. You serve us. But in a lot of ways, the people of this state and across the country have started treating you like you're some sort of celebrity, that you are an entitled ruler of sorts, that your title as senator or representative, whatever that may be, is something for us to bow down to instead of you thanking the rest of us for your opportunity to serve us. That you should be thanking us every day that we chose you to do our bidding. We know that there are people who are pulling your arms, pulling your legs, and lining or wish to line your pockets for you to have a position that you know the people that you serve are against. But you're going to have to get back to the place where all of this was dreamt up, and that is a representative republic. If you are poor and you get into this business, because that's what it's become. If you get into politics and you are poor, don't do it. If you've got a good job that pays you well and you think you want to serve, do that then. But if you are poor and you are always upset and angry about how much money you don't have, this job is not for you. you are easily going to be subjected to someone lining your pockets. And you will get the sense of entitlement. That power will make you feel, look at them, they're fawning over me. Look at them, they want to give me this, that, and the third because they find me so important. And then you start getting your hands on certain things and you start taking advantage because you think that's a part of the job. I earned this. You start thinking I have to look a certain way. I have to go to certain places. I have to be seen. That's not this job. Someone told me a couple of hours ago that Erin Stewart's problem was she's from New Britain and she just does not have a lot of money. She's a working stiff just like everybody else, and she's struggling to get by. And they believe that she got a hold of this card and she just had so many things going on and she just wanted to have a little fun. She wanted to feel like the people that she saw on television. The people who looked the part, acted the part, hung out at the cool places. I got away from her. I don't know whether or not that's true. I don't know whether or not it was just greed. I don't know if it's because she is an underhanded person and she felt like, who's going to know? I don't know what's in her heart. But Erin Stewart's story is no different from anybody else's who's struggling, gets an opportunity, and takes advantage. What happens when you get caught, you have to remember what got you there. What made you make that first purchase? What made you steal that first dollar? What made you take what wasn't yours? What was that about? I don't know. That question's going to have to be addressed internally for Erin Stewart and any other politician out there. You know, I know Doug McCrory's out there. He's got an investigation into him. He's got to ask that question too. Do I have enough Steve Harvey suits? I don't know. I'm sorry to put it that way, but that's what these people have to start asking themselves. Am I taking this job as a what's in it for me? Or is it a job what I can do for you? And if I can in a minute, let me say this. I thank the folks here at WTIC and Odyssey for paying me, but hell, it can be a struggle at times. I got to fight every day with my wife about what we can't afford and what we can't buy. I am not wealthy by any means. And every day I sit up here saying, who's going to come by and say to me, because trust me, in radio, it happens. Hey, man, let me give you a couple of $100, man, you know, help a brother out. As much as it might help me with a bill here or a bill there or pay for this kid's school or that, I have to say no. And I know there's some people out there just going to say, can't you make a little bit? No. Because I'll tell you, man, they're all a bunch of rats. They're all a bunch of rats and heathens. And if they'll pay you to do what you're told, the minute that you can't, they will tell on you. You got to keep it clean. And if you don't like this job, and you don't like the poverty in it, if you don't like that you got to wear dirty suits, or the same suit, or you got to shop at Payless. I know they're not around anymore, but whatever. That you're scraping by. Do it. There's a reason why you're living like that. The reason why you're living like that is because now you understand what everybody else is doing. It'll make you do your job even better. Because once you start lining your pockets and you start becoming beholden to everybody else who lined them for you, you will forget the job you have, and that is serving us. And right now, Erin's thinking about that more than anything. Where did I lose my mission statement? The things that I said on the campaign trail. The things that I said when I got reelected. Where did I lose focus? Or did I ever have it at all? Figuring that out will be a worse sentence than any jail time she ever gets, because reflection can be ugly. We'll be back.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
A successful retirement doesn't just happen. It requires a plan that is custom built to suit everyone's individual financial situation. Every Saturday at 3, we share vital information on how to build and live a successful retirement. It's On the Money with Jay Dorso. Retirement strategies on building income and proper protection from the pitfalls and the latest news in the retirement universe. On the Money with Jay Dorso, 3 p.m. this Saturday on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we are pretty much an hour in right now. We've got some guests coming in today. We've got Chris Lancia and Helena Bueno, who are running for the 3rd and 4th congressional districts against Jim Himes and, against, why am I forgetting her name? Rosa DeLauro and Jim Himes, respectively. So Chris Lancia is running against the Rosa DeLauro, and Helena Bueno is running against Jim Himes. They'll be on the program 4 and 4:30 today. And, of course, we'll talk about their campaigns and what's going on, of course, with the Erin Stewart thing. Let's get to the phones real quick. Lori is in Glastonbury. Hey, Lori, thanks for holding, by the way. Oh, I screwed up. There you go. Hey, what's up?
Thank you for taking my call and for giving me fair warning because I was eating lunch.
No problem.
But I never said I knew she would win. I just thought that she would be our best possibility. But I based that on the fact that she had been repeatedly reelected as mayor and had taken Britain from being an armpit to being a really a city I didn't feel unsafe in.
Is this your mea culpa to me, Lori? Is this what your mea culpa is to me? Is that you were one of the people who thought that she would get the nomination?
You know what? I'm not going to say it's a mea culpa.
Okay.
I'm just, you asked the question,
okay,
how do you know? And so I'm just trying to answer it to the best of my very ineloquent ability.
Okay.
So I based my evidence on the fact that, again, I had been in New Britain for at least a decade and saw how much improvement she had made. And so I thought, okay, well, if she's known for this, which she was, I knew she had name recognition because of it. That was what I based my evidence off of, that she would be a good bet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed. I think the hubris probably comes when, you're repeatedly reelected, and thus thinking, oh well, you start to think you're untouchable. But I agree with you that if anyone were to get interested in running in any political office, you dang well better be sure that your nose is all clean.
Yeah.
Because if it's not, they will find out. There's a scripture that says everything that's done in darkness will be found out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, and sadly, this is no different. I wouldn't dare gloat because my background isn't clean. Mm-hmm. I've done things in my life that I've regretted because I'm a human being, and I was very broken before I met Jesus. So I understand. Would I like to? Sure. Will I? No. Unless the Lord says specifically, girl, you better do this.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
And I think that, as I was saying earlier, some of the worst people who have run campaigns, in my view, I'm not putting Erin in this category, but my earlier statement about using this opportunity to run for office to line your own pockets. When I hear a politician talk about equity, when I hear a politician talk about how we need to make opportunities for those who are less fortunate and how government's going to play that role, when I hear that candidate talking, I know that candidate's going to line their pockets. And every time I see it and they do it, they get accused of it every time. Because what they are running on is bitterness and jealousy. When you are running that campaign talking about the haves versus the have-nots, you are probably running as a have-not, and you will take every opportunity when you get behind the, because everybody knows it. The people who are lobbyists, the people who are business owners, they know that you are running a campaign to line your pockets. The minute you start talking about people who have and people who have not, they go, okay, that guy's coming after me. I'll give him a couple of dollars and he'll do my bidding. And guess what? They get caught every time doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's at the end of the day, it's hubris. It's likely hubris that just caught her in the butt.
Yeah.
And I mean, if this isn't the end, I hope that she can come back, wiser, humbler.
Yeah.
I think a dose of humility will take you a long way. And I hope that we as Republicans, first of all, get off your dang butts and vote. Would you please? You have one job. Just get the job done.
I got to get out of here, Lord. Real quick. Go ahead, because I got to get out in less than 15.
And then we have to support whoever the candidate is. I'm done.
That's it. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate you. Let me get up out of here. Let's get to the WTIC newsroom. John Silva's there, and he'll give you more if there are any updates on the Erin Stewart campaign.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It is 3 o'clock, 58 degrees, cloudy skies. We've still got that chance for a shower or perhaps a downpour this afternoon as we keep temperatures not far from 60 degrees. We'll have the forecast details from the WTIC Weather Center coming up. Erin Stewart's campaign for governor has come to an abrupt end. The former Republican mayor of New Britain announced today she was suspending that campaign after a report dropped today indicating Stewart may have spent well over $200,000 on personal items using a city-issued purchase or P-card. The current mayor of New Britain, Bobby Sanchez, said in a statement, the report, quote, confirms a deeply troubling pattern of abuse. When it comes to Stewart's spending, some of the items outlined in the report from Hartford firm Crombie Law Group. Thousands spent on private club memberships, birthday and party favors, children's, men's, and women's clothing, lingerie, shoes, toys, and grocery items, to name several. In her statement, Stewart said she takes the allegations against her seriously and will work to address them, adding that she will, quote, take accountability for my mistakes. She has pledged support to State Senator Ryan Fazio for the gubernatorial nomination of the Republican Party at this weekend's convention. State police are now involved in the investigation as well. The end of the campaign came just after the release of that report early this morning. Things moving at breakneck pace, as we hear from WTIC's Dave Mager.
The report says years of personal spending by the mayor on a city credit card were not lapses in judgment, but a pattern of behavior that violated public trust. More than $207,000 in taxpayer funds spent. $19,000 went for Stewart's membership at the private Hartford Club, site of a campaign fundraiser paid for on the same account. There's no evidence that Stewart reimbursed the city. $48,000 went to Amazon, $19,000 to Costco for anything from clothing and jewelry to groceries and party favors, some listed in city finance records as office supplies. Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Governor Lamont reacted to Stewart's decision during an event at UConn earlier today.
There were some serious allegations. Got to get to the bottom of that. I respect her decision. I know how tough it was. You know, the Republicans are united now, coming out of the convention of this fall, and so I hope the Democrats will be as well.
President Trump's trip to China continues, with him hailing how well the talks with Beijing have been going, but a blunt warning from the Chinese to the U.S. when it comes to Taiwan.
China and the United States both stand to gain from cooperation.
With trade top of mind for President Trump, the White House says China agreed to buy more U.S. agricultural products. The U.S. readout of their meeting had no mention of Taiwan. But for China, it's the top issue, and Beijing warned that there could be clashes and even conflicts if not handled properly.
That's correspondent Natalie Brand at the White House. Vice President Vance has taken his anti-fraud message to the state of Maine. Linda Kenyon has the story.
The Vice President's anti-fraud task force is cracking down on Medicare and Medicaid fraud, saying the American taxpayer should not suffer the consequences.
We want the fraudsters, and we want the bureaucrats who enable the fraud. We want those people to suffer the consequences.
Vance told a crowd in Bangor, Maine, that misuse of government social programs harms every American.
You've got an administration in Washington, D.C. that is fighting for you, fighting to protect your tax dollars.
The vice president's visit came ahead of Maine's primary elections. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
And the full 2026 NFL schedule is being released today, completing the list of 272 games over 18 weeks. Season kicks off on September 9th when the Seahawks raise their Super Bowl banner. It'll be the second time the NFL season opens on a Wednesday. The Giants host the Cowboys September 5th, 2012. Several games already announced, including a record 9 international games across 4 continents this upcoming season. WTIC News Time coming up on 3:05. And checking traffic, we do have a road closure to report. This is 691 westbound in Cheshire, exit 8A. This to the 84 eastbound ramp. That is closed due to a crash. Let's get an update now from the WTIC Weather Center.
The rest of today, we are cool with the rain still lingering around as we come down from a high in the upper 50s. Tonight, we keep the showers around, at least the chance for a few of them, cloudy with a low of 51. Tomorrow, we are still cloudy, still cool, and yes, still have a few showers out there for us, a high near 60 degrees. As we go into tomorrow night, we get the chance to dry out. It's partly cloudy with a low of 47. The weekend should start off really nice for us. It's mostly sunny and pleasant on Saturday with a high of 75 degrees. But we're going to get warmer as we go into Sunday. Sunday is partly sunny with a high of 83 degrees. Monday will be partly sunny with a high near 80 degrees. And as we head through Tuesday and Wednesday, we are going to add back the chance for some showers and thunderstorms, but highs will continue to stay very warm. We're going to be in the 80s, even the mid-80s as we go through the middle of the week. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow up 384 points this afternoon. S&P is up 62 and the NASDAQ's up 266. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Herbie Fisher. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
When a contractor needed to quickly lock down valuable equipment on site, they called the leader in mobile storage, Eagle Leasing. We delivered a clean, watertight storage container exactly where they needed it. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or go to eagleleasing.com. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
When a contractor needed convenient office space on their job site, they called the leader in mobile offices, Eagle Leasing. The next day, we delivered a clean, high-quality office trailer and put it exactly where they needed it. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or go to eagleleasing.com. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
I can't get the signal. Okay, seriously. Now there's absolutely no excuse not to listen to WTIC News Talk 1080. You can literally hear us anywhere when you listen on your smartphone. And now you can hear us on the Odyssey app, the iHeartRadio app, and the TuneIn app. So pick your favorite and search and follow WTIC News Talk 1080 in the app. Then listen wherever you are. It's really that easy. So no more, I can't get the signal. We've made it easy. WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps. Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that at the top of the thing? Reese on the radio, making sense of the news, even when it makes no sense at all. Remember, I wrote that tagline. But I'll part with this, and this is the most important thing you need to understand. This is me. Just going to part with this. First, we get the tax collector situation. Then we get the Dennis House interview. We get the Dennis House interview that says, I receive bribes all the time, and then we walk it back. Either she never meant to say it or she said it and she meant it. It's one or the other. But the answers were never made. They were never given any answers. It just didn't. And then we got this. We have this with the P card, with the $200,000, with over 10 years of charges. Okay? I would have stayed away from this until I saw this. And I'll give you the description. If you want to see it yourself, go to WTNH and see it yourself. Erin Stewart gives a campaign rally before the convention. She gives a defiant press, speech, saying that this is a distraction. These are people who are trying to undo her campaign. And this is nothing more than Republicans who are attacking her and Democrats who are fearful of her. She gives a fiery speech. And fine, that's absolutely good. That's the way that you should respond. But after the speech, when the cameras come at you and they want to interview you, reporters show up. And what's my biggest beef here in Connecticut, everybody? What's my biggest beef? That at big events, they just bring the cameras. They don't bring reporters. Nobody's there to ask questions. And so they do. And you'll make the argument that says, well, of course, Reese, it's a Republican. Of course I know it's because it's a Republican, which is the reason why, as Republicans, when we're making the argument that everyone else gets a cakewalk on the other side, that when the cameras come and the reporters come for us, what do we need to do? We need to show the Democrats that we can do the thing that they are scared to death to do. And that is get in front of that camera, get in front of Mike Cirilli, get in front of whoever's there. And stand there when the cameras are rolling and say, What's your question, Mike? Give it to me. Susan Rapp, what do you got? Give me more. Her team ran. Her team ran and they closed the door behind her. I don't care about the rest of you folks on this one. I'm calling it. Game over. Okay. I just wanted to say, it's what I said yesterday. It's what I said 2 weeks before the debate. I stick by it. I'm not trying to be Kreskin here. I'm not trying to be all the rest of these guys who sit up here and talk all that nonsense about, I tell you what you need to hear. No, I'm not trying to tell you anything other than what I know. I've been around too long to know it. Let's go to Ryan in Coventry. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Very good today. I think the right thing happened. I do feel bad for her in the sense that she threw everything away at this point, but I think it's telling for a lot of reasons. But I think Ryan Fazio handled it the best out of everyone. Betsy kind of steered away from this. She didn't really get involved in it, and I think that's a big miss for her. I think the Republicans need to lean into this even more. We know that there's things like Semaphore out there. We know there's things like Senator McCrory out there. And with this all happening with Erin and it getting the media attention that it did, it's time to double down and make sure that they're accountable to the same level that Erin just was.
That's right.
It's all out there, and it just needs to happen. And I think this just clears the way, and I think this will make the Republican ticket a stronger place if everyone could get their heads around it the right way.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ryan, 100%. I want to address something in the chat room. Reggae Don said something here that I want to read, and I would hope, Reggae Don, that you do understand when you write statements like this, you are setting the table. And what's my rule about setting the table? You got to eat from it. Reggae Don says this: isn't this scandal a poor reflection on the Connecticut Republican Party? Yes. Yes, of course. I mean, if we let you tell it, you're 100% right. This scandal is a poor reflection of the Connecticut Republican Party. Yeah. So is Doug McCrory to the Democrat Party. But when I look at the numbers, I look at $207,000 worth what? Worth based against what? 14, 15 million? Huh? And what kind of money are we talking about here? We're talking about money that was supposed to go to the most vulnerable of us? Is that what you're talking about? You mean poor reflection? Obviously, the answer is no. Here's why. As soon as this became public, the only people who were standing by Erin Stewart were standing by Erin Stewart and say, hey, what about Ned Lamont? Now, was that the right angle to go? I guess if you're trying to defend her, I can waive that misjudgment. But if you were a person that knew this story and read this story as it came out, and you were also one of these people who said you had you cannot stand the fact that there's so much corruption in the state, and you were willing to waive on this one, you were a hypocrite. And you know who you are. But the bottom line on this is that this is an Erin issue. And those who spoke up. They called this show. Many of you who are going to vote called this show and said, no, she's got to go. Or she lost me when she didn't go to the debate. But those people are the ones who stepped up and says, no, we cannot make a campaign against the corruption of the Democrat Party, the supermajority in this state, if we have one of our own. And what we did was we took accountability. That's what it's called. Group accountability, and said, we can't tolerate this in our party. We will not tolerate it in our party. It is time for you to go. You can always become a Democrat, though. But bottom line is, what did we do? We made the statement that it had to be excised, and it was. She made the decision to drop out. Everybody on the Democrat Party, who I know, at least not everybody, but a lot of people came up and said Doug McCrory needed to step away from committee. Some people said he needed to resign. What did he do? Nothing. You think anybody's called for it? Has anybody stepped up and made McCrory do the same thing that Erin Stewart did? No, not at all. Still sits on committees, by the way. People just washed it under the rug and kept it moving. Guess what? With Erin Stewart stepping out, Ryan Fazio being one of the people, he ran an ad on this very network telling her that she had to go. As they say in the hood, he kept it 100 and said, we cannot tolerate this as a party. It is going to affect us down ballot, and we are trying to beat the incumbent, who we know has corruption in his ranks. And we can't go in there with dirt on us. She did the right thing and moved on. Where's the Democrat who's doing that now? McCrory doing that now? Is anybody calling for it on McCrory's side? No. Why do you think that Ned Lamont was so tempered in his response? Huh? Why do you think he was? He knows what's sitting on his side. There was no celebration on Ned Lamont's side. He couldn't celebrate. He's got dirt over there. And his dirt's still lurking around the apartment. What was going on on our side is gone. And the party's going to unify behind that. So if you want to make that claim of whether or not this looks bad in the Democrat or in the Republican Party, you can make that argument if you want to, but it don't stick. We don't have a Doug McCrory lurking around that everybody's pretending isn't under FBI investigation. So, just want to get that out of the way. I'm going to go to Gary in Southington. Hello, Gary.
Hey, Reese.
Yes.
So actually, I'm going to have to piggyback on your point. I was just, I agree 100%. And but and I know that if she were a Democrat, like where's the women in the media circling the wagons trying to protect her?
Yeah.
Why? I thought that was misogynistic. I mean, you can't attack a woman, right?
Right.
You know this.
I know.
The Hartford Courant, the Meriden Communist paper, they're saying nothing to protect her. Nothing.
No.
And I'm not saying, and I agree, if she's corrupt, she's got to go. And I'm not a big Erin Stewart fan. I don't think she's really that conservative.
I don't even really, to be honest with you, I just want to push back on the word corrupt a little bit. Because I get in the sense of saying she's corrupt means that she took taxpayer money and she served herself. I get where it's a fair use of the word. But if I'm speculating here at best, what I see here is somebody who's a mom, she's got 2 kids, the job doesn't pay all that well, and she took advantage of a P card, and it got away from her. And it ended up being her undoing. No, it's illegal. It's illegal. Don't get me wrong. What she did, she broke the law.
I don't know.
No, she broke the law. She broke the law. Okay. Without a doubt, she broke the law. When I say corrupt, I'm talking about taking federal money and moving around hundreds of thousands of dollars, in the sense of, I don't want to say any names, McCrory, that kind of thing, the allegation that's going off there. That's corrupt.
And how about this corruption? Let's go back to 2000 during COVID. So, what's his name? Cuomo's running in New York, and he's the next president. Remember CNN? He's sending people into the convalescent homes where they're dying, and Lament was conversing with him every single day.
Indeed.
I wish you remember this.
Oh, we're going into that. We're going into that later on today. We got so much stuff to get into on that COVID stuff.
Oh, Lament did the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
He did the same thing. He sent people into convalescent homes, and they died. And there's nothing about that. We don't hear anything. Or Lament's wife making millions of dollars on Pfizer, her company. Made I don't know how much money it was that she was making on the corruption of the deal she was making to the jab. I mean, there's so much corruption in the Democratic Party. The point is, that doesn't mean it's okay whatever Erin Stewart might have done, but it pales. To me, it pales in comparison to what they're doing or what they've done.
Yeah, indeed. I agree, sir. Thank you so much. Let me move on. I'll go to blah, 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 blah. You know what? This is a new voice. Joni, is that correct in Farmington?
Yes.
Hi, Joni.
Hi, Reese. Hi. I wanted to just call because I don't know. Are you aware that her father was mayor of New Britain years ago?
Of course.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if he's still alive, but I mean, this ruins his legacy too.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. From what I know of her father, I'm sure he's outraged about this, and he probably wants, if he's the kind of dad that people have described in the past, he probably wants blood because his baby girl had this happen to her. He can't be any happier. If this happened to my daughter, I would want blood too. But that's why I said that she's got to come to grips, because right now, and I hope her family gets together and starts making a game plan, because if this goes all out, she's going to be taken away from her kids, and that ain't cool. I mean, but again, it's not cool because, you weep for those children. No one wants that for any child. But you kind of have to look at it both ways. It's like, Erin, you kind of built this sandcastle, and the wave is crashing against it. So this happened. This didn't happen to you. This is what you did to yourself.
Yeah, I just want to say one last thing too. I was born in New Britain and raised there. I haven't lived there for many, many years. But what I do know, I wanted her for years. I knew she was talking about this for a long time, even though I don't, I still live in Connecticut, of course. But I'm Republican, but I know a lot of Democrats who loved her. She did a lot for New Britain. She changed that city like you would not believe.
Yeah, a lot of people said that to me last night, and it is true, because many people are. It's Joni. The interesting thing about this is that everyone who's come to me and talked about her has said exactly what you did. Is that the bittersweet of this is, imagine somebody who had done so many good things and still did something wrong, and that's the indifference that you have here. I won't equate her to a John Gotti, but if you lived in John Gotti's neighborhood, you would hear people talk about him in that way, that said, yes, I know he was this, that, and the third, and he did this, that, and the third, but you'd be stunned at what he did for charities, what he did for homeless kids, what he did for people who were starving. It's like that's the sad part, and I think a lot of Democrats would have voted for her. Matter of fact, I know it. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. 100%.
And she could have been the governor, and this is really sad. So, I will vote for Fazio, but I don't believe it's going to happen. I really don't.
Don't do that. We need you to believe, and you need to listen. Don't just go out and vote. Get others to go with you, okay?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
And let's hope we can get rid of Lamont, but.
That's right. No buts. No buts allowed, Joni.
Anyone can help us, Reese. It's you.
That's right. Thank you. I appreciate you. Joni, have a good one.
I listen every day.
Thank you so much for that. I love the support. Thank you.
You take care, Reese.
You got it. Simsbury Joe, you're kind of jumping in early. I ain't even getting to the COVID stuff, but I know you want to opine about this because it's breaking news.
I do. I'll do my Dr. Phil from Simsbury in a moment here. I'll just make one COVID comment.
Yeah.
And that is, and I won't steal your thunder on what you're going to talk about. I'm just going to say to Ryan Fazio that it's 5 years later, roughly, and it is time for Ned Lamont to be held responsible for what he did.
That's right.
Enough people know now exactly what happened and exactly how he stood up there with Dr. Manisha and lied to us. We have children who lost their learning, small businesses were destroyed, civil liberties were restricted, families were destroyed. The gentleman who just called mentioned convalescent homes. People couldn't even go see, loved ones. The whole mask thing, there was no science. Don't just focus on public benefits charges and saving people a few bucks. Focus on the big stuff that people can understand, that they can feel inside their body, where, I'm sorry, Ned Lamont, thanks for your 8 years, but you messed up and you got to go.
Yeah, listen, you're bringing a good point about this, because this campaign, in one breath, it has got to be a coalesce of everyone in the Republican Party and then to gain other hearts and minds outside of the Republican Party, the moderates, even the centrist Democrats, whatever that case may be, to get a large group of people to see the vision for the future of Connecticut. But you're 100% right, and Brian mentioned it once on, I guess, a town hall. He said this, is that what we need to do as a campaign, or what he's saying to do as a campaign, is that we must prosecute the Ned Lamont administration for what they've done in the last 8 years. That's what we got to do out on the campaign trail.
And he's got to educate people, because even today, there's still some people that are not educated about what really took place during that time, and they need that reminder.
Exactly. Well, not only that, we need to show them, but we need to show them, Joe, and I think the reminder is to actually take them where they are. Do you remember? Sort of articulate to them, 2021, here in Connecticut, businesses closed down. You couldn't leave your home. You couldn't go to your place of worship. You had to wear a mask everywhere. Your kids couldn't go to school. You all lived that. We all know that was not based upon any real science, and this guy was responsible for that. And then bring up cases like, House Bill 5044, which gave that policy, gave that new mandate to one individual, excising you and your say in what medical mandates there were going to be, or at least vaccine mandates were going to be in this state. You are about to give a permission slip if you elect this guy again. That's the prosecution.
Yep. So I'll talk real quickly, and I know some people will not agree with me, so I'm going to outline why I'm going to say what I'm going to say about Erin.
Yeah.
So for the life of me, I can't say for sure why she would ever run for governor after knowing what she just did in the city of New Britain, and the office that she used to sit in was now occupied by the enemy.
There you go.
And I'll say that is one point. And the next point, to justify what my big comment is out of the $207,000, $120,000 of it had no receipts. And there is no one listening, regardless of party, that has ever worked in the business world that's filed an expense report. That would happen once, and it would never happen again. You would lose your job.
That's right.
So my Dr. Phil comment about her is I believe that this came down to that she has an addictive personality combined with trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Wow.
Because why would you ever run for governor after doing that, knowing there was something that was driving her? And I'm sorry, Erin, if you're listening or you're her fans, what's driving her is not, I want to serve the public.
Yeah.
We know that from what she just did. Something else is driving her, and I'm not taking her off the hook because she broke the law.
No, I get what you're saying.
These are big things that I can't answer in any other way other than, she was driven to do this no different than someone who has a problem with alcohol or eating something. I just believe that.
I got to go to a hard break, but Joe, thank you. That's a very, very good point. And I think I was kind of making that, but I think you touched on it far better than I did. We'll get back to that. Thank you, buddy. Let's take a break, and then we'll come back on another side of the break and talk more about this. We'll take more of your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC. We're back. It's Reese on the Radio.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 3:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Cloudy skies and 58 degrees. We still could see a shower perhaps as we head through this afternoon, with all that coming to an end later on. All the forecast details coming up. Former New Britain Mayor Erin Stewart has suspended her campaign for governor. The decision and announcement coming as an independent report dropped this morning into her use of a city purchase or P card during her tenure in office. The report states Stewart rang up over $200,000 in charges, much of it on personal items, including baby items and toys, makeup, lingerie, shoes, party favors, and more. And in announcing she was stepping out of the race, Stewart threw her support behind Greenwich State Senator Ryan Fazio and urged her delegates to do likewise at the upcoming GOP convention this weekend. Investigation does remain ongoing. The current mayor, calling Stewart's use of the P card in violation of city policy. Bobby Sanchez has referred spending records to prosecutors, and the state police are also conducting an investigation as well. Police intend to increase their presence this weekend with word of a possible takeover gathering at West Farms Mall. Farmington police say there have been social media posts alluding to a possible organized activity on Saturday. They say there will be a strict zero tolerance enforcement policy in effect. China President Xi Jinping has warned President Trump that their two countries could clash over Taiwan if the issue is not handled properly. That coming earlier today after President Trump praised the tenor of the talks that have been going on in that summit that began yesterday. Former Connecticut First Lady Nikki O'Neill has died. The wife of the late former Governor William A. O'Neill was 90. Mrs. O'Neill died earlier this week. Bill O'Neill served as governor from 1980 to 91. He died in 2007. WTIC News Time is 3:32. Here's the forecast.
The rest of today, we keep things cool with some rain. Of course, those wet roads lowering visibilities around and leading to some slower travel, coming down from a high in the upper 50s. Tonight, we are going to be cloudy with a few showers around a low of 51. Tomorrow, we stay cloudy and cool with a couple of showers, a high near 60 degrees. We'll be dry tomorrow night with partly cloudy skies and a low of 47. Saturday is mostly sunny and pleasant. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, the markets close in a half an hour, and the Dow is still up 385 points. The NASDAQ is up 255, and the S&P is ahead 61 points. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, Dave Berger from Modern Plumbing Supply. Being a family-owned business for over 90 years, Modern Plumbing Supply has been serving our customers proudly in a way only a family-owned business does. We're always there for you with premier quality products, great service, great prices, and with a knowledgeable sales staff second to none. A name you can rely on, Modern Plumbing Supply, a family-owned business on the Berlin Turnpike in Berlin, open 6 days a week.
Great design with you in mind. Modern Plumbing Supply.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Northeast Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combination therapies that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and to the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. That's northeastmenshealth.com. Northeast Men's Health, advanced medical science to empower male performance.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner from Money Wisdom. Want to learn ways to minimize taxes in retirement, protect your money against inflation and healthcare expenses, and develop a personalized income plan? Call 1-800-208-SAFE to get your free guide to maximizing retirement book. That's 800-208-7233 to get your free book today.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Is your cool not so cool? What condition is your conditioner in? Say, come on into Campbell. With just one call to Campbell Heating and Cooling, Campbell's All-American Cool Crew is on the way. From a simple air conditioning service call to a complete system overhaul, you can count on Campbell. Contact Campbell today and reserve your service spot before it gets too hot. Veteran-owned and operated, Campbell Heating and Cooling. Visit CampbellCooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Equipment.
Lemonade! Fresh squeezed lemonade! Lemonade? Oh, nuts.
Is your business struggling to be seen? Not reaching the right customers?
Yeah.
Odyssey's here to help. Your one-stop shop for digital marketing.
Wait, really?
With targeted digital media, plus SEO, SEM, social, OTT, and more, we help your business reach the right audience and drive results.
Whoa, hey, one at a time.
Stop missing out on valuable customers. Visit digitallocalads.com to learn more about our local advertising solutions. That's digitallocalads.com.
Okay, people, mine starts here.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Brian Shackman here for Certa Pro Painters. Now is the time to do it. If you've been putting it off, Certa Pro Painters can provide that free estimate. They can do it quickly and at the right price. I can tell you they did my kitchen and it was phenomenal. You never have to wonder about what's next. Certa Pro Painters, they give reliable updates and they're always in communication. And listen, schedule your free estimate online right now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Hey, he's your friendly neighborhood Reese on the radio. Right now on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we'll take a couple of more of your phone calls, comments, anywhere and everywhere coming in the chat room. Some of them are just kind of all over the place. Can we please keep them dedicated to the subject at hand? I know you have some things you want me to talk about, but this doesn't work for me. Just coming up with random topics and say, talked about that. No, that's not how this works. Otherwise, just enjoy the show. Reese, you did a great job on the intro at 2. I can only imagine what Bobby Sanchez is trying to hide with the diversion to Erin's expense reports. The feds will probably look at New Britain contracts for construction to see if Bobby's paws can be found on any brown paper bags, Fred writes. I would expect any and all investigations to be very thorough. And there's a part of this that I'm having some difficulty with from you folks. So forgive me if I'm not understanding. We will always be, or at least I expect us to be, the people who say, we don't just not tolerate it with Democrats. We don't tolerate it here either. We are not going to take that behavior and we won't take it lying down because we know that we cannot be perfect and we know that we are not. But in knowing that we can't be perfect, what we can do is always strive to be better. So if one of our own embarrasses us and smears what we stand for, we have got to be ready to call that out. Why? Because it's what we complain about on the other side. We ask ourselves every day. That's what the 9 compromises, or now the 10, but the 9 compromises are about. You can find them on my Facebook page. Why do I call them the 9 compromises? Because we ask Democrats, can you depart from the party line on some of these most ridiculous things? Mutilating children's body parts. Can you compromise and say that that's not a thing? Can you compromise and say that a boy cannot play in girls' sports? What we're asking them to do is to, in essence, have a degree of legitimacy by saying, I'm a Democrat, I believe in liberalism, but that is not normal. No, a man cannot be a woman. No, a man cannot get pregnant. Not because I'm not a liberal, because I'm not a knucklehead. Okay? Because I am not mentally ill. And every one of the things I have on the compromise, they're not things like me asking you to denounce, charity. Like, that's ridiculous. When I ask you to denounce socialism, is because I'm asking you to understand what socialism really is, not your made-up, superficial college thesis idea of socialism that your professor told you about. Real socialism. When we talk about abortion, we don't say that you should denounce abortion in the 9 compromises. We say in the 9 compromises that killing a child in the 3rd trimester and up to the date of birth is not health care. That's the compromise. We ask you to reject the ridiculous. So what do we do in kind? We reject fraud. Right? That's not what we stand for. We do not enrich ourselves. That's who we are as a party. We know it goes on the other side. We cannot act like the other side, and our excuse can never be, they do it over there, or what about them? When we start rejecting, or when we start going in down that avenue, the avenue that you hear me say every day, all day, stop behaving like a 7-year-old. To put this into consideration, Erin Stewart got caught with her hand in a cookie jar. Her supporters turned around to the rest of us and said, but Lamont does it too. Which is what? Is that a permission slip? Is that now make us all go, well, since you put it like that, take another $207,000. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, no, Reese, that's not what I'm saying. No, that is what you're saying. The minute you go, but, you negate everything before it. And if you stand for it, if you're a hypocrite, just say I'm a hypocrite. I'm okay with that. In fact, I say it all the time. I wish people, I'd say black people, just admit you want special treatment. Please, I'll accept that. I won't call you crazy. I'm just glad that you're telling the truth. But you folks aren't telling the truth. You're sitting up here telling me that we abhor corruption. But then we get somebody on our side that actually gets caught in it, and we go, but what about them? So, which is it? I can't legitimize this. I can't do it. You're asking me to, and I'll tell you, you're asking me to do something unnatural, at least to me. And again, it's okay. If it's something, look, if you're okay with it, if you were okay with it, fine. I accept you. I accept you for who you are. I'm not going to be the person that says, oh, you're this and you're that. I just accept who you are. But please stop telling me that the argument should be, what about, it's the same stupid argument that we had when it came to Charlie Kirk, when every one of those leftists called up on this show and said, what about the words he said? I'm like, what about them? Charlie Kirk could have said, black people need to die or be exterminated. And you guys still think that he should have been killed for that. And again say, I'm against murdering people in cold blood. Except, no. That must be across the board. If there are caveats, say there are caveats. I believe that no one should be executed for their beliefs unless you negate the no one in your earlier statement. All right? So that's the only point I'm trying to make here. Just trying to get to that. I'll go to Ken. Ken's been there for a minute. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing good, Reese. How you doing?
I'm all right, sir. What's up?
A couple of things I want to add on to what you said in my own opinion. First thing, everybody who is supporting Erin and saying that, well, check Lamont. It's not up to us to check Lamont. It's up to us to put forth a viable candidate.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't do that. So that's why she's getting looked at. Second thing is, everybody who supported Erin or still supports Erin, and I've seen some posts earlier today, people saying, well, I'm still going to vote for her. If you want Ned Lamont out of office, you have to back whoever is chosen this weekend, whether it's Ryan or Betsy.
Yep.
Whoever it is, you have to support them. Otherwise, we're going to get four more years of Ned, and nothing's going to change.
Yeah. This is a drinking the poison to spite your enemy's moment.
Exactly. And if you stay home because you're like, well, I'm just not going to go vote, that's a yes vote for Lamont.
Indeed.
And that's what people aren't realizing. Granted, we didn't know any of this stuff until it came forward, and it wasn't a hit piece. It was something was going on with her.
Yeah.
And she didn't come. She had to have known could come out. She was probably hoping it wouldn't come out, but it did. And after it came out, she should have got right out in front of it and said, hey, you know what? Yeah, I did use the credit card. I did spend this much money. I did. Whatever it is that was found out. And I'd almost suspect that had she done that, she wouldn't have had to have dropped out. But because she didn't, and she was putting it off and saying that she didn't do anything wrong, it came back and bit her in the butt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than if any of her supporters are listening, you need to support whoever gets chosen this weekend. Otherwise, you're just going to hand 4 more years back to Ned, and nobody wants that.
Yeah. I think that there's a part of this, Ken, that if I've got to give some tough love on this to the Erin supporters, we have got to stop treating this like we're voting for somebody on American Idol or voting for somebody off the Survivor Island.
I didn't even think of that.
Because
everybody's like, she's the only person. She's the only one that can beat Ned.
Not if we all join in. Not if we all come together to beat Ned. This isn't about, with all due respect, even for them, these guys will run a rabid dog with a D next to him and they'll win an election. When are we going to start behaving like that with a proven contender? We have somebody who had baggage. It's got to be Fazio.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You just hit the nail on the head there. If you have, I don't know if anybody in the Connecticut Republican Party listen to your show.
They do.
If you have any contacts there, what they need to do is they need to get into the same game as the Democrats do. Otherwise, we're not going to win anymore.
That's right. Exactly. And
Right
people are
now,
giving up Ken, I'll tell you this because I got to go take a break. They're giving up the game beforehand. People are going, but for, and maybe not, and I don't know. No, I don't want to. When has anybody ever gone into anything with the, it's just, it baffles my mind. But last word before I go to break. Go ahead.
Last thing I'm going to say before you go, they got to play dirty like the Democrats do. Otherwise, we'll never have another again.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's the bottom line.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate you, bro.
All right, Reese. Good talking to you, brother.
Always. Let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. I'll try to get a couple more in the next break when we return. It's Reese on the radio.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.
Apple is considering diversifying its chip supply chain by enlisting the help of Intel and Samsung. Bloomberg reports Apple has been talking with the companies about manufacturing Apple's custom processors for iPhones and Macs in the U.S., which would provide another source beyond Apple's longtime partner Taiwan Semiconductor. Intel operates 4 advanced semiconductor plants in Chandler, Arizona. I'm Jason Brooks.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAP.
Tomorrow, some of us will wake up and it will be our last day on this earth. It will be unexpected and without warning. Each year, 250,000 people will die from medical malpractice, the third leading cause of death in America. 43,000 will die in a car or truck crash. 6,000 will die working on the job. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and we represent many of these families. It's awful. Unfortunately, many times some of these family members are not speaking and never get to say, I'm sorry or goodbye. If you're at odds with a loved one, listen closely. Pick up the phone. Call them. Say you're sorry. I promise a huge burden will be lifted from your heart and your soul will be renewed. Even if you're not wrong in your own mind, it doesn't matter. Death is bad enough. Death without closure and love will follow you the rest of your days. Trust me on this. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Let me see if I can grab one or two more here. Let's go to Pete in Northford. Hello, Pete. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon, Reese. I'm well. Hey, look, Erin is done. She's not going to run. Okay, she's now out of the picture, and she's going to be in a whole world of hurt. My question here now is about the elephant in the room. And that elephant in the room is this. How could the state party allow someone to get this far within a day of the convention, okay, to be the face of the party?
Say the name.
Someone who has a very good opportunity, a very good chance here now to end up in jail. You mean to tell me that Ben Proto, okay, had no idea what was going on with Erin Stewart? None? Where was the vetting? Okay, because the Democrats knew what was going on with Erin Stewart, and they were just waiting, okay, to drop this as soon as she got the nomination.
That's exactly listen, I've been saying it for weeks, right? That this was going to be one of those things where if Erin didn't push back, and I'm telling you, it's like one of those things where the people who were doing this investigation, they could have dropped this after the convention and embarrassed everybody, every soul in the Republican Party. But because she pushed back and said that this was bogus and it was done to attack her, they had to make it look clean, which is why it was dropped today. But I'm back at you with the Ben Proto thing. You are right over the target, my friend. And that is the argument that has been made since I got here is that Ben Proto is feckless. And this, up to the day before the convention, with him going on television and doing interviews and not addressing, as you called it, the elephant in the room, not even once, even in his interview today with Brian Shackman, never addressing it, is exactly the type of leadership this party can do without.
Well, I've been calling, for a long time, your station and others, okay, and I'm so tired of pounding on Ben Proto, okay, but he needs to go.
Yeah.
Okay, we lost seats in the state of Connecticut under the Biden administration.
Yeah.
How can you explain that as being successful? Look, if Ben Proto was a stock in your portfolio, would you buy more Ben Proto or would you sell Ben Proto? Okay? I am so tired of, like you said, this feckless leadership. Okay, look at me, okay, and you've done nothing. Actually, you've done less than nothing. Okay, so when you can lose, okay, under the Biden administration, and you can lose under the Lamont administration, it's time for you to look for another line of work.
Indeed. You're 100% right. And guess what? That sentiment is already growing. And it has grown far more today than it was yesterday. And I'm telling you, it's reached a fever pitch. And he's going to have to come on the program. If not mine, he'll go to one of the other ones of friendlier places to go. But Ben Proto, the invitation is open. Please come here and address it because people have got questions. And I'm very much in line with thinking, Pete, I think you and I are in the same place, that, what is it, his tenure is up in a year, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. So
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep.
The rumblings are that he will not serve again as the head of the GOP.
Well, their response is, well, who's going to do it? You see, who's going to do it? No one's going to step forward.
No, I've got a name in mind, but they have told me not to say anything.
Well, good. That's good. Then I hope we do have somebody in the bullpen because it's time for a massive clean out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pete. Much and well said. I knew it was coming one time today. I'm glad you started us off. That conversation will expand. Thank you again. Let's go to our first check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher, the Shark, is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, buddy.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon. Well, if you're eastbound 84, delays start about a mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. If you're westbound 84, that's slowing in East Hartford, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. Southbound 91 slowing in Hartford 33 down to 32 A and B, and again 27 down to 28. A minor slowdown southbound on 91 as you move 18 to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Heading on 2 westbound, a little tight as you merge with 84 West in East Hartford. 9 northbound slowing at Harbor Park for the Aragoni Bridge. Also 9 northbound, some sluggish traffic from exit 32 up to the 72 interchange, Berlin into New Britain. If you're heading into Waterbury, 84 eastbound delays approaching 17 up to 18, and again 26 down to the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 slowing 26 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Southbound Parkway, you've got delays from exit 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The rest of today, we keep things cool with some rain. Of course, those wet roads lowering visibilities around and leading to some slower travel. Coming down from a high in the upper 50s. Tonight, we are going to be cloudy with a few showers around a low of 51. Tomorrow, we stay cloudy and cool with a couple of showers, a high near 60 degrees. We'll be dry tomorrow night with partly cloudy skies and a low of 47. Saturday is mostly sunny and pleasant. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Get a head start to your day with WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen to us live on the Odyssey app before you even hit the road. Get the breakdown on the biggest news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080. This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Former New Britain Mayor Erin Stewart has suspended her campaign for governor. The decision and announcement coming as an independent report dropped this morning into her use of a city P-card or purchase card during her tenure in office. The report states Stewart rang up over $200,000 in charges, much of it on personal items. In announcing she was stepping out of the race, Stewart threw her support behind Greenwich State Senator Ryan Fazio and urged her delegates to do likewise at the GOP convention coming up this weekend. The suspension comes after the release of that report that goes well into detail about what was purchased. WTIC's Dave Mager picks up that part of the story.
The report says the spending started in June 2016. Overall, $207,000 charged to a city credit card all the way through last year. The purchases run from the mundane, daily grocery items, to the more ambitious, $19,000 for membership at the private Hartford Club. In between, goodies for a tropical Peppa Pig-themed birthday party for a 2-year-old and a 40th birthday party for her husband. Some of the evidence is seen on Stewart's famously active social media accounts or even on TV. A red dress purchased on Amazon is seen worn by Stewart on Facebook. Stewart wears a blue maternity dress she purchased with the card during an appearance on Channel 8. Also on the purchase list, microphones for podcast and video use. Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
The investigation remains ongoing. The current mayor calling Stewart's use of the P-card in violation of city policy. Mayor Bobby Sanchez referring spending records to prosecutors, and state police are now also conducting an investigation into Stewart's use of that credit card. On the final day of their 2-day summit, President Trump and President Xi Jinping zeroed in on trade and stabilizing the relationship after last year's U.S.-China trade war.
China and the United States both stand to gain from cooperation.
With trade top of mind for President Trump, the White House says China agreed to buy more U.S. agricultural products. The U.S. readout of their meeting had no mention of Taiwan. But for China, it's the top issue, and Beijing warned that there could be clashes and even conflicts if not handled properly.
It's correspondent Natalie Brand at the White House. The head of the U.S. Border Patrol is stepping down.
Border Patrol Chief Mike Banks has become the latest top Trump administration official to leave. In a farewell message to employees, he stated it is time to return home to Texas and focus on his family and his ranch. Banks also said, quote, "What we have accomplished together in the last year and a half is nothing short of amazing." He added that the employees have, quote, "delivered the most secure border this country has ever seen." Banks replaced Greg Bovino, who served in the position for just 7 months. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
UConn and UConn Health are receiving an assist from the state to offset cuts at the federal level. $35 million is being earmarked from the Federal Response Fund. That's the $500 million account lawmakers passed last year for an emergency. UConn President Radenka Marek says the assist comes at an important time.
The impacts are being felt across the campus, and these dollars are not easily replaced from other sources. UConn is projecting an additional $34 million annual losses across all the campuses if the federal government limits reimbursement rates for indirect cost to 15%, as it has proposed.
Primary voting has already started in Georgia, but the governor is calling for a special session to redraw congressional districts in keeping with other states' moves to split Black and Latino voting power. The redistricting is being allowed in the middle of a decade by the U.S. Supreme Court and may prevent Democrats from taking the majority of the House in the upcoming midterms.
As it relates to the midterms, relatively unlikely that we see many changes
going forward. But I think a lot of people certainly concerned about what could potentially happen down the road in 2028. Certainly the case at other southern states.
Correspondent Skylar Henry. Dow finished up 370 points today. NASDAQ picked up 232 and the S&P was up 56. I'm John Silda, WTIC 1080 News.
At a huge law firm, does your case feel lost? And at a small firm, they might not have the muscle to truly fight for you. At BPS Lawyers, we're small enough to give your case the personal attention it deserves, yet large enough with the resources and expertise to get the job done right every time. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Glastonbury, Hartford, Essex, East Hampton, New Hartford, and Simsbury. Visit bpslawyers.com or call 860-CALL-BPS. Nick Payne-Dearest is responsible for the content of this ad.
A successful retirement doesn't just happen. It requires a plan that is custom built to suit everyone's individual financial situation. Every Saturday at 3, we share vital information on how to build and live a successful retirement. It's On the Money with Jay Dorso. Retirement strategies on building income and proper protection from the pitfalls and the latest news in the retirement universe. On the Money with Jay Dorso, 3 p.m. this Saturday on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Reese is on the radio. Hey, hey. Here we go now. He's on the radio. Hey, hey. One time, hey. He's on the radio. Hey, hey. Give it to him now. He's on the radio. Hey, yo. We never finish 'cause the party don't stop. Hey. The way we consider politics, we on top. Hey. We flip it like sandals, except we never flop. Hey. And when we drop, you know we gon' pop. Hey. Reese is on the radio. Hey. Here we go now. Reese is on the radio. Hey. One time, come on. Reese is on the radio. Hey. Give it to him now. Reese is on the radio. Go.
All right, we are back. The second half of Reese on the Radio begins momentarily with our guest today, who is Luz Elena Bueno. She is running for the House seat in the 4th District against Jim Himes. We'll talk to her in a minute. Actually, let me put her on camera real quick so you can see her. Just wave hi to the camera. It's right there. She'll be our guest in a little bit. We'll talk to her about her campaign and have a whole bunch of fun. In the minute that I have here, sitting behind me is Mike Ortiz, which you're going to give him a round of applause. Mike Ortiz is there. Mike, get up on the mic.
I'm here.
All right,
here.
Mike Ortiz is sitting behind me. He walked in, and I went to go shake his hand because we were getting loose, situated, and whatnot. And then Mike, after I shake his hands, the first word that come out of his mouth are, say it, Mike.
You called it.
And Mike, when did I call it?
Weeks ago when it was here, we went to a break. You called it off air. You said, you gave me kind of an arbitrary date.
Yeah.
May 9th-ish to 14th pre-convention. You said
exactly. I said pre-convention, it was over, right?
Yeah,
and you were on this show when?
That was weeks ago.
Many weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, I think, yeah.
Yeah, you walked in here today and you said, damn, you called it. I told everybody, if you talk to me privately, you will come up and say, yep, Reese said it. I'm not trying to be the oracle of this thing. I just know I do this thing for a living, and I don't want to come in here and lie. So I appreciate you helping me out here.
Well, you have the credentials to be calling these things.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Let's get our first checker, another checker, weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading on the southbound side of I-91, look for delays now in Hartford as you come down from exit 33 down to 32A and B, and again 27 down to 28. A little slow by exit 18 in Meriden for the 691 interchange. Traveling westbound 84, a little slow 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound's locked up about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound slowing from exit 1D up to the 84 west merge. A little slow 9 northbound as you approach the Aragoni Bridge. Waterbury 84 eastbound delay 17 to 18. Again 26 down to the 691 interchange. You'll lose speed there. Westbound 84 is tight 23 up to the Mixmaster. Southbound on the Parkway, look for delays from exit 50 into the West Rock Tunnel, and 84 eastbound in Newtown. You've got delays approaching 9 up to exit 11. I'm Mark Christopher with I'm Mark Christopher. Traffic and weather together on the 8s WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We've still got some showers and rain lifting out of the area. Some heavier rain right now in the Plainville area, and that will continue to start to leave as we head through tonight. We're cloudy with a lingering shower, a low of 51. Tomorrow will be cloudy and cool, a couple of showers in the area, a high near 60 degrees. And then tomorrow night, partly cloudy, a low of 47. Going into Saturday, great start to the weekend, mostly sunny and 75 for the high. Sunday turns a little bit warm on us as we're partly sunny with a high of 83, and we'll keep it warm into Monday, partly sunny with a high near 80. Right now it's 61 in Middletown, 59 in Windsor, and 60 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, Eric Hogarth with Money Wisdom. Tune in this week, and as we discuss practical strategies to grow your portfolio, we also have a few updates on the market. Tune in on Money Wisdom, TIC News Talk 1080.
Tune in to How to Retire with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. And finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs. Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we are back and we are live right here with Luz Elena Bueno. Now, I am always trying my best not to butcher anyone's name, Luz.
You made it perfect.
Did I do it perfect?
Perfect.
I
yeah,
did.
You said
Luz
it perfect.
Elena Bueno.
Exactly.
But I've got to stop myself because there's a lot of rolling letters that I have to do.
Well, you rolled.
I did it okay?
Well. Yeah,
I did it all right.
Perfect.
So, Luz, let me say, and I love your accent.
Thank you.
The thing that I wanted to tell you first and foremost is that you are the second Luz I've ever met in my entire life. The only other Luz I've ever known was a Puerto Rican girl in junior high school. And I remember the first time I heard the name, and I went, Luz. I'm like, I've never heard that name before. And she was like, well, I'm Puerto Rican, so it's very common there. But you're Colombian.
Yes, it's very common in Colombia, too.
It is very common.
Yeah.
What does luz mean?
It means light.
It means light.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were telling a story behind the scenes that when you worked as an investment banker, you used your middle name, Elena.
Yes, as my first job in New York City as an investment banker, I got rid of Luz and I used Elena Bueno. And my first boss used to tell me, why would you have a name Luz Bueno, good light, and just change it to Elena?
It's
and
weird
so now
how
I'm going with Luz.
Right. When you get older, you realize the beauty in your name. And it was it took me a long time for me to recognize it when my mom gave me my first name. My first name is Edward, but I love Reese because it's sort of like my nickname.
Husband name.
Is it really? Is that okay? That is common. Do you know our name means guardian of prosperity? Yeah, that's beautiful. When you hear that, which it means that you make other people rich. That's what that means. You're guardian of everybody else's prosperity. My last name means son of a hobgoblin, but that's another story. I'm not going to get into that. But so what is it? Luz Bueno is, what is it? Beautiful light or?
Good light.
Good light. Good light. That is perfect. So you are running a campaign against the notorious Democrat known as Jim Himes.
I am. Well, I am running now in the in the primary.
Yes.
So not quite yet.
Okay,
against
but
Jim Himes.
that is your
goal.
your end
That's the
goal
goal.
is to go up against Jim Himes. Is this your first political foray? Is this your first chance or first opportunity?
It is my first. This is my first political effort. And the truth is, I got involved very late because I started looking at the statistics and I realized that with District 4 is 25% Hispanic and 10% Black. So it's, more than a third of the district is minority, and we don't. There is no representation. There is not enough representation in Congress, and the big issue that brought me in was education.
Okay, talk to me about that. Your education point of view is because of the lack of it or the failing grades. What was that angle?
Yeah, it's the failing schools in Bridgeport. So I spent a lot of time during the last legislative session here in Hartford, and I heard the kids from Bridgeport coming to testify. Some of them have gone through high school without having a science teacher.
Wow.
So we have in District 4 the best school districts and the worst.
Right.
And that is not okay because the worst are Hispanic and Black kids.
Right.
And so one of my main purpose will be to obtain federal grants and to build schools in the areas where the schools are failing.
Right.
Magnet schools and charter schools in areas where the schools are failing.
That's one of the biggest issues that we have here in Connecticut, if not across the globe. We had Linda McMahon, the education secretary, on the program, and she's been fighting tooth and nail to, one, get rid of the bureaucracy of the Board of Education, the federal Board of Education, and bring that money, strictly, and the policy strictly to the state. Bridgeport is one of the biggest problems that I see in education, not just with failing grades or failing proficiency rates. I also believe that there is no real interest in the education of those kids. You talked about the 30% minority in that area. Why do you think
no, Bridgeport is way more than 30%.
Oh, no, I'm talking in the school system. I'm saying...
No, the District 4 is,
I'm sorry.
36, but actually Bridgeport...
The schools?
Bridgeport, the town, the city of Bridgeport is more than 45%
minority.
Hispanic.
Oh, Hispanic
yeah,
only?
More than 60% Hispanic and Black.
Oh, wow.
Actually, Bridgeport is as Hispanic as Los Angeles.
Really?
Yeah. isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
And so we have a big problem, but there is a magnet school in Bridgeport that is very, very successful, and 100% of the kids go to college, and they go to actually very good colleges.
Is one of the Bridgeport, I don't know if it's a magnet school or a charter school, is that the one that Stephen Perry runs? Is that the one you're discussing?
Steve Perry runs that school, and he has been very outspoken, and I have spoken with him about it. This has to end, and I told him I feel that the key is to bring federal money to build more magnet schools. The thing is, the big problem has been in Hartford, though.
Yeah.
Is in Hartford that has not been wanting to fund his schools.
That's true. They're fighting him tooth and nail when there was an expansion that was supposed to happen in Middletown. Matt Lesser put the kibosh, as well as Martin Looney, who's now leaving, also put the kibosh on it and shut the whole thing down, disenfranchising those kids who would have benefited in Middletown. In fact, Dr. Steve Perry's mission should be expanded in the state, but they're finding every reason to put an end to it. You say that is part of your mission to unseat
That is part of my mission, and there are Puerto Rican communities. They're Hispanic communities, but with a lot of Puerto Rican leadership in the Danbury area, and they have charter schools, and they also have to fight. Tooth and nail to have the Board of Education give them the money, to have the state give them the money. And I went to the State Board of Education meeting in November, and there were 300 people speaking, all for the charter school, and they were all Hispanics. And so, I mean, we need to make sure that, I mean, this is the number one issue, because we want our kids to do better than we did, right? That's what we're here.
Of course. I believe it's the civil rights issue of our time, especially in these minority communities.
I wasn't sure if I was going to go there, but I have
No,
gone
it is.
there. Yeah,
No,
it is.
that's exactly what it is. Because they're the ones. I mean, I think all kids are falling behind, but minority children overall are the ones that are really left behind. And I'll be honest with you.
Not all kids are falling behind.
No,
in
that's
Connecticut.
no. I'm talking about the inner city kids. No matter what their stripe, are falling behind. It's not just a black, white. I mean, sorry, it's Hispanic or black issue. It is Hispanic, white, Asian, all of those kids in poor neighborhoods who don't have the education resources, who could benefit from charter schools. All of them do. It is most largely the Hispanic and black communities who suffer the most in Connecticut. That is without a doubt. But I'm just saying that if you were in an impoverished community, you were more than likely going to a poor school.
Yeah, but you have, for example, Capital Prep, which is Dr. Steve Perry school in Bridgeport, and he has the lowest budget.
Yeah.
And he has the best outcome.
Yeah. And that's the interesting part, is that that's why you want to supersede the state. You don't want Hartford. You don't want to wait for Hartford to get that money. You want the federal money because you know it's not coming from the state.
We need the federal money to come to build more magnet and charter schools. Yeah.
You need to reach out.
That.
You should reach out to Linda McMahon to at least get that effort started. I will make sure that Mike has my guy's number so they can get you in touch with them, because that's something that's very important to do. I do have to ask you this, because many people will argue, those on the left would say, but Luz, you're Hispanic. You're running on a Republican ticket?
Yeah, I believe that actually Hispanic values are closer to the Republican Party than the Democratic Party. I mean, it is clear we believe in family. We believe in, we have similar values. I don't really know why. I came to America, and it was surprising to me, because in Florida, Hispanics are very conservative. Mm-hmm. So it's just here that somehow the Democratic Party has claimed that they have the Hispanic, but they don't, because the fact is,
I'm learning.
Since the year 2000, most of the growth of the Hispanic population in Connecticut, which is now 19%, almost 20% in the state, and it's 25% in District 4. So most of the growth has been birth.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So at least until 2000, I mean, I have to say that.
No, I remember that. I remember that specifically in 2000 was when that census report, I think a year later, it was the first time when Hispanics outnumbered blacks 2-1 in the country.
From 2000 to 2020, the vast majority of the growth was birth. Mm-hmm. So we are talking about 26 years. Yeah. These are voting. These are people that can vote, right, and they are not being reached.
Wow.
They are not registered. They don't even know who is who. They don't know who's running. They don't know, because it's really hard. It's the same problem in schools. Mm-hmm. You see, Hartford has been promising that it's going to increase the percentage of teachers and administrators, Black and Hispanic, because it is it's very well proved that when the kids have teachers and administrators that are similar than them, they do better.
Really? I ardently disagree with that statistic, but if there are, I want to see those.
Yeah, no, there are studies that show that, because they feel more comfortable that if they have a problem, if they have a difficulty, they go to that person, and so this is one of the goals, set goals of the State Department of Education, to increase the amount of minorities among teachers and administrators.
But they're not having any luck with that, are they?
And they're not doing it. Well, I don't know if it's luck, but
they haven't been able to recruit any, is what I mean. Sorry, forgive my forgive my phrasing. You took that literally. What I'm saying is that they have not had a lot of success recruiting teachers of that level, of Hispanics and blacks who are joining the ranks of teachers in these communities. A lot of them don't want to work there.
They don't want to work there, or they're not being recruited. We don't know that.
Right.
I'm not going to imply anything. But I will say it's the same thing in political candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Unless people can relate with that political candidate,
Fair.
they're probably not going to get animated to go vote. Not going to get animated to participate.
How many people are you running against in the primary?
2.
Just 2?
Yeah.
2 others?
2 others, yeah.
Okay.
And very different, both male and both, white males, yeah.
Okay.
Very different.
Are you going to run a campaign that is solely based on ethnicity?
No.
Okay.
I'm running a campaign. I am an economist.
Okay.
So I am the only economist running also. And I believe the main issue in Connecticut is the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need to bring good jobs back to Connecticut.
Do you, I have to ask you this because you say that you're running as an economist. One of the biggest arguments they make about Ryan Fazio is the fact that he's kind of a financial wonk, as they say, like somebody who's very embedded in the numbers. And sometimes that can get confused in translation when you're trying to reach people at a very base level. Do you have sort of an approach that every average person in that community can respond to? Because sometimes when you start talking numbers, people go, that stuff is too confusing to me. Is your message in an economic way that average people can understand?
Yeah, there's 2 groups, let's say, in District 4. One is highly educated, financial people that take the train, go to work in New York, or used to work in Connecticut, or still work in Connecticut, and the firms that are left, because a lot of the firms left due to the like the Obama era regulations, which is one of my purpose will be to go and reverse the Obama era regulations on the financial industry, which have cost dearly small banks and financial firms they cannot comply with the regulations. It's so expensive they leave. So these people, a lot of people work in the financial industries in the district, so they will be able to understand. Now, Hispanics. It's really bad to say that Hispanics and blacks don't understand the economic concept because they deal with it day to day.
Oh, no, I do. I know that they do. But, financial, it's... Let me put it this way. I know we're gonna come up on a break in a second. I'm gonna dive in this a little bit. It's not so much of saying that those communities are too dumb to understand that. But what I mean by this is that, and I know this because I've been black for at least 15, 20 minutes, that those economic issues are not kitchen table issues beyond the, are we going to pay our rent? Are we going to be able to buy gas? Are we going to be able to keep the lights on? That kind of simple thing. So I'm not saying that your message won't resonate with them, but I want to know whether or not you have a message that goes to the people who are financially understanding versus the base person who, like, how do you sort of mix that message? But we'll take a break and we'll get to that because I want to kind of get your message out to the average person who will understand. We'll take a minute. We'll be back. Elena Bueno is here. She is running against, she's in a primary, but she's going to be running up against Jim Himes in the 4th District when we return. Stand by. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford right now and you're on the southbound side of 91, delays 33 down to 32 A&B, and again 27 to 28. 84 eastbound slowing about a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 running slow 56 Governor Street out to 47 Sigourney. 2 westbound's a little tight as you merge with 84 West. 9 northbound's a little slow at the Aragoni. 84 eastbound Waterbury's a sluggish 17 to 18. Again 26 down to the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 in Cheshire slows 26 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Southbound Parkway, some slow traffic 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The rest of today, we are cool with the rain still lingering around as we come down from a high in the upper 50s. Tonight, we keep the showers around, at least the chance for a few of them. Cloudy with a low of 51. Tomorrow, we are still cloudy, still cool, and yes, still have a few showers out there for us, a high near 60 degrees. As we go into tomorrow night, we get the chance to dry out. It's partly cloudy with a low of 47. The weekend should start off really nice for us. It's mostly sunny and pleasant on Saturday with a high of 75 degrees. but we're going to get warmer as we go into Sunday. Sunday is partly sunny with a high of 83 degrees. Monday will be partly sunny with a high near 80 degrees. And as we head through Tuesday and Wednesday, we are going to add back the chance for some showers and thunderstorms, but highs will continue to stay very warm. We're going to be in the 80s, even the mid 80s as we go through the middle of the week. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. And now, a WTIC News Update.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Cloudy skies, got some rain showers, and 58 degrees in Hartford. A day from the Republican convention, the state Republican convention this weekend. Erin Stewart has suspended her campaign for governor. The Republican former mayor of New Britain had been facing growing calls to step aside, as well as increased criticism over allegations she misused her city purchase or P card for personal items. In a statement, she says, quote, "She will take accountability for any mistakes, and I intend to make full and complete restitution to the city." She also says she has spoken with opponent State Senator Ryan Fazio, now pitching her full support to his campaign and encouraging all of her delegates to do likewise. The report states that Stewart rang up over $200,000 in charges, much of it on personal items, including baby items, toys, makeup, lingerie, shoes, party favors, and more. A state police trooper from Glastonbury has turned himself in to face computer crime charges. 36-year-old Trooper First Class Marwing Pena turned himself in to state police on Wednesday. Pena charged with third-degree computer crimes, although details of that alleged crime were not immediately released. Tensions escalating again near the Strait of Hormuz after a ship anchored off the United Arab Emirates was seized and taken toward Iran, and another was attacked and sunk near the coast of Oman. The incidents reported today coming as a senior Iranian official reiterated his country's claim to the waterway. President Trump winding down that two-day summit with his Chinese counterpart in Beijing.
Presidents Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping have begun a crucial series of meetings in Beijing, but few breakthroughs are expected on divisive issues such as the Iran war, trade, technology, and Taiwan. At a banquet later in the day Thursday, President Xi said he and Trump had in-depth communication and said, "We both believe that the China-U.S. relationship is the most important bilateral relationship in the world. We must make it work and never mess it up." President Trump extended an invitation to Xi.
It is my honor to extend an invitation to you and Madam Peng to visit us at the White House this September 24th. And we look forward to it.
Trump is hoping China will buy more U.S. agricultural products and passenger planes. He's expected to leave Beijing midday Friday, following a final private meeting with Xi. I'm Donna Warder.
Wall Street, the Dow finished up 370 points today. The Nasdaq gained 232. S&P was up 57. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done inside and out at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we are live. We are here, and Elena Bueno. I got to find a way to actually just make that flow. Elena Bueno, and I keep screwing it up. I'm trying. I'm never going to get it right. It's okay. Is in the studio with us. We're talking about her campaign to win the primary and then unseat Jim Himes. I know a lot of people are telling you it's an uphill battle because he's an established Democrat here in the state. But you've got a lot of great ideas, and you've got a plan to go not just into that district and get people to not just vote for you, but to turn out and vote and to get registered to vote. And you're very passionate about the people who are there. In particular, the minority community, the Hispanic and the Black community, who you feel in a lot of ways, and correct me if I'm wrong, you feel are being left behind and ignored by the current administration or the current representative.
Yes, they definitely are. And there are priorities that will allow them to thrive and Connecticut's economy to thrive. One of my proposals is also to help the small business owners. So a lot of the African American and Hispanic community are small business owners. Mm-hmm. And that's why they have a pretty clear understanding of economics, mm-hmm. because they actually manage their businesses. They manage their money. They manage their businesses. They know when there is going to be more work or there's going to be less work, or, I mean, they manage their cycles, their mm-hmm. business cycles. Like I was telling you, Amazon drivers, I mean, they know around Christmas they're going to make much more money than other times of the year. So they manage their business cycles. They're pretty wise. And what small businesses need in Connecticut are access to federal grant small business loans and small business loans, which are pretty complicated. So I would have somebody dedicated just to help the people from Connecticut to file federal small business loans.
Yes, please. And if you could just do me one favor and the rest of us who cannot stand it, can we get them small real business loans, not just marijuana dispensary loans?
No,
not any of that. I got to take another break coming up in the traffic. You said something, that I did not know about I didn't understand that Amazon did this. But I want to talk to you a little bit about it, and then we'll talk more about your campaign when we get back. But you said Amazon helps people start their own business by helping them purchase a car?
They provide funding, and so they can own the car.
Okay.
Their own delivery car.
I want to dive into it just a little bit because I never heard that before. So I'm going to ask you about it when we return. Let's get another check of traffic and weather with Mark Christopher. He's in the well, we're waiting for him. Okay, he has to do traffic in a couple of places, so we're just going to wait until he gets over here. There he goes. Mark Christopher's back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. This traffic report is being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. And if you're making your way into downtown Hartford right now, you're on the southbound side of 91. You're going to see delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Again, down by exit 27 and 28. On the northbound side of 91, that moves well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing. Approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound delays approaching 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 through 84 okay. 2 eastbound's looking good into Glastonbury. 9 northbound Middletown's a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge. If you're traveling southbound 91 in Meriden, delays 19 down to 17 for the Wilbercross Parkway. Eastbound 84 into Waterbury slowing 17 to 18. Again, 26 down to the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 sluggish 26 in Cheshire up to the Mixmaster. If you're 84 eastbound delays delays approaching 9 in Newtown to 11. Southbound Parkway, some slow traffic 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic moves slow, but your transformation shouldn't. Columbia Implant Center provides full dental implants in just one visit. Open 7 days a week in Manchester to fit your busy life. Get your smile back today at ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We are still looking at the rain trying to move out of here for us. Most of that shower activity has left and will continue to leave, but there's a little bit more coming in from the west right now. So if you're out there, just note that that will slow you down a bit. We do have the lingering shower as we head through tonight, a low of 51 degrees. Tomorrow, we're cloudy and cool. Still a couple of showers around, a high near 60. Tomorrow night starts our dry trend, partly cloudy, a low of 47. And Saturday is a beautiful start to the weekend. Mostly sunny, 75 for the high. Sunday, partly sunny and a little bit warmer. We're back into the mid-80s with a high of 83. And Monday will be partly sunny with a high of 80. Right now it's 58 in Avon, 57 in Manchester, and 60 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constancer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
When a contractor needed to quickly lock down valuable equipment on site, they called the leader in mobile storage, Eagle Leasing. We delivered a clean, watertight storage container exactly where they needed it. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or go to eagleleasing.com. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
When a contractor needed convenient office space on their job site, they called the leader in mobile offices, Eagle Leasing. The next day, we delivered a clean, high-quality office trailer and put it exactly where they needed it. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or go to eagleleasing.com. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Hey, we're back. Reese on the radio, live with Luz Elena Bueno. And I got to keep saying it a dozen. When you leave, I'm going to be able. It's going to roll right off the tongue. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. You said you and your husband were talking about Amazon real quick. I didn't even know. I don't know if they do this in Connecticut. We're not sure if they do this in Connecticut, but if you're interested and you're listening to the show, you should look it up. So you said that Amazon has a program that will help you start your own little Amazon team, so to speak.
Yeah. So Amazon has a program that they provide loans for the drivers to buy cars, and they run their own delivery business.
Right.
So basically, Amazon outsource the delivery.
Right.
And even if they don't make any money on the delivery, it doesn't matter because they make it on the product. So
Right.
they manage the warehouse and they outsource the delivery, and they allow the delivery their delivery people to buy multiple cars and
Right.
manage their own people and their own logistics and the whole thing. And so those are the type of businesses that minorities are in, just like property management,
Right.
property cleaning, commercial property cleaning. So the property management, I have met a few, and they have suffered a lot with the empty buildings through
Right.
Connecticut.
Right. And there's
the loss of businesses.
Loss of businesses, and those things can be revitalized with, some of these smaller businesses if they get the right federal loans. What you're trying to do is sort of get an access to these loans to the community that would benefit from them because, as you said, those kids who one are failing in education would probably be enriched by the jobs that were available there. Maybe education picks up, I guess, as a result.
Well, I feel, no, the education cannot fail. That's has
one.
to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of minorities, Hispanics and blacks, they want to be their own boss.
Right.
It is what it is. They want their own business, even if it's a small business, a restaurant, a food truck. You name it. They want to be their own business. And they can grow because they run it. They're very, very good at running small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
They can grow if they have the
resources,
resources to grow it. Now, we do need big companies to come back, good jobs, good paying jobs to come back to Connecticut also.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where my main focus will be, to roll back those regulations that stop financial firms from coming back to the U.S., really, because they left the U.S. But Connecticut it's a natural, because it has the people, the people that know how to manage money. So the big firms. We need to attract big employers to have big jobs and good paying jobs back in Connecticut also.
Because it will also
those small business depend on those big paying jobs also.
But the objective is not only I think once you get those businesses moving back here, you will also attract people to move to the state, which is one of the other big problems we're having is the exodus of people leaving. Yes. Because there are no great opportunities here anymore. We've lost so many.
Yeah, because the thing is, we have had crazy. Florida and Texas have been so efficient because their Congress men and women are so focused on that, on closing deals, and that's the thing with my background in the mergers and acquisition financial industry, that I know how to be super focused on going, look, what do I need to do for you to come to Connecticut?
Yeah.
We have lost employers to New Jersey. Why?
Yeah, my wife considers that place some of the worst towns ever. And you're right, we should not be Connecticut should never lose anything to New Jersey.
No.
In no way.
In no way. And so we have the educated workforce that could attract very good paying jobs to Connecticut, which is what the firms struggle with in other states.
Yeah.
So, but somebody has to go and tell them, come here. What do we need to do for you to come here?
Before we took a break, I was asking the question about being able to convey your economic message to those who understand economics quite well, and then to those who are not so wonkish, those who are not, I don't want to say less educated, but people who just do not know the economic jargon there is. And off the microphone, you had given an example that I think is probably the best way that you can convey an economic message to the average person who doesn't understand it well. Do you want to share that?
Yes. Well, I feel, because I live in a foreign language. I'm going to start saying this. I live in a foreign language, and sometimes people don't understand me, so I have to say this stuff several different ways. Right? Because sometimes it's beyond language. It's just kind of cultural.
Yeah.
And so I am really good at explaining, and that's what an example I was giving you, like when it was the whole thing about when tariffs or taxes. Well, it's relatively simple. You want to keep your old phone and don't pay taxes, or you want to get a brand new phone for a very cheap price because there are no tariffs, but you pay more taxes.
Right.
And at that point, everybody's like, yeah, I keep my phone.
Right.
I'm fine.
They understand it very well. It's that simple.
Exactly.
And I was telling you that my wife is going through that because she's got an older phone. I think her phone is like 3 years old, and it's not charging anymore. And she was looking up to get a new phone, and she says that in order to get a new phone, it would add about $31 extra to our bill every month. And I said, how much are we paying now? She said, about $85. And I said, can we afford an extra $31? She was like, yeah, it puts us over $100. And I said, well, if we can afford it, then get it. But that's true. That's kind of the way everyone looks at economics. They make their decisions on how much it's going to cost us down the road and how much of a hit we can take financially in our paycheck, because a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, and that's why economic policies work. For example, the economic policy President Trump promoted to give a tax break if you have an American-made car.
Yeah.
Well, you buy an American-made car because you have a tax break. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a basic
It's
economics.
simple.
It's simple, and so people understand economics much more than they think themselves they do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because not everything is a complicated economic theory.
This is true. No, that was my whole point.
yeah.
When I asked you that, is like when people look at the word economics or dealing with economics as a policy, many people immediately say, it's like, oh, they're going to talk about banking, they're going to talk about stock markets, they're going to talk about these things that I barely understand. I need somebody who's explained it to me in a way that, when I buy eggs versus when I buy gas. You're like, that's the kind of economic numbers the average person goes through. Not that 401ks are great, but not everyone has them. The average American does not, and the average person in Bridgeport does not. So that was more or less my question, is like, how do you convey both messages, or the same message in two ways, I guess was the way that I was trying to phrase it. So it wasn't that I don't think that people aren't educated. It's just that some people, you have to reach them where they are.
Yeah, no, I think that it's valid to give simple explanations, but I think that it's not a matter of simplicity. It's that a real life example is the difference between talking about theory and talking about real life example. But I tell you that I was a nerd as a kid. I was the valedictorian of my school. I finished economics, and then I did political science before you could do dual programs. So I did 2 careers. My husband and I made in college, so we have been married 30 years. And so I always was taught that if you cannot explain something in really simple words, like how does this accept real life, everyday life, then you don't understand it.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah.
I mean, so I understand pretty good. I can answer almost any question that can be very complicated and make it very simple.
Let me ask you a personal level, since you mentioned your husband here. This is a very, very odd career choice to run for office. Can you tell me a little inside baseball on how this conversation went between you and your husband? Your husband seems like a very accomplished man. His wife says she wants to run for Congress. Who's the person who decides? Does he go, honey, you should do this? Or do you go, honey, I want to do this? How does that work?
So there is a story about that.
Okay.
So when we met in college, he was an intern in a political campaign.
Oh.
And so he was running around and putting signs, because back then, and so
Yeah.
I would go around with him and kind of look pretty, because what else do you do at that age, right? And so we met doing this. And so now
You saw the dirty politics of this, the hustle and bustle.
We're having a lot of fun. And so I bought back the perfume that I used to wear there. So we go around and he's like, I'm getting confused. Where am I? Am I back in Florida running a campaign? So, I mean, we're really having fun because, I mean, it has to be fun. But I also feel, I don't know if I would call it a career. I think it's public service. That's what it is.
Hold on, please. When? Are you hearing what she just said? Did you hear that? I'm screaming into her ears right now. Did you hear her? I want you to say it again. Please, please, please say it again. Say it one more time. You don't think of this as a career. You think this as a...
public service.
Thank you. Go on. This is my argument all day today.
Yeah, it's public service. It's not a career, and as long as I have a purpose, I will do it. I'm here for a reason. I saw a problem, and I have been shocked that I have been in the Republican Town Committee meetings, and there is very little diversity. So I am bringing up this message to the party. We need to have the Republican Town Committees reflect the demographics of the places. If we have 30%.
We also need to expose the fact that there are people in the minority community who do share our values as conservatives.
That share our values and that are disengaged, that they're not voting. They're not in the system. We need to bring them in.
Yeah. Mike Ortiz is in the background. He was saying that we have at least 1 million people who in the state alone, Mike, or is it just in the Bridgeport area?
So after I had my first conversation with Luce, I did 3 AIs, and the AI told me I need to confirm with Luce through real voter data, like 12 vote or whatever. But the estimates through all 3 of them are that there could be as much as 800,000 unregistered first-generation Latinos and up to 200,000 registered Puerto Rican voters that lean right, that register but don't vote. And I've talked to a few of them recently after I had my conversation, and most of their issues are just that ever since Obama, no one's really talked to them too much. That's been the problem. In state, mostly.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. So that's who you're trying to reach now.
Yeah, and I am trying to reach the young Hispanics born in the U.S., and they are not voting. They don't even know who their representatives are. And ironically, because you have this thing in the Hispanic community that 3 generations later they ask them, where are you from, and they say, oh, I'm from, I don't know, San Juan. And it's like, well, you don't even speak English that well, Spanish that well, like you cannot be from San Juan. So there's those roots, and so they live in concentrated places. And I want them to be represented because they are going to be sending their kids to schools, and they need their schools to work for them.
Yeah.
And they are paying their taxes, and they are American citizens, and they need to be engaged. And we also have in District 4, it's like 40% is neither.
You mean neither Republican nor Democrat?
No, it's independent.
Oh, it's independent. Okay.
So I don't. Some of those fall in what
Mike
is talking about. That they don't even, because they don't know. Well, what am I? Who is this side? Who is in that side?
Right.
And so.
If we're not engaging them, how will they know?
Yeah. If nobody goes to talk to them, to tell them, look, this is what I'm offering you. This is who I am. This is why I want to go. They don't know anybody who's running. They don't know anything. They don't know anything that is going on, and they're not voting.
Do you have a ground game that you're going to approach here, or?
Well, I do because it's pretty compact.
Okay.
It's in pretty compact communities, and they are in a way relatively easy to reach because you don't have to spread through a lot of like TV or anything. They are on the radio and online. That's where you reach them. And so I was very active in the last election, as I was saying, helping some districts and other parts virtually. So I understand very well.
Yeah, you understand the demographics because you kind of work them.
The demographics and where they are, and once you engage them and you reach to them, they listen to a radio and they're online, so they're pretty reachable.
Luz Elena Bueno is is where you can at least look her up. She's got LuzBuenoForCongress.com. Am I saying that right? Luz Bueno. Luz, and that's Luz, LuzBuenoForCongress.com to help her campaign. Actually, stick around. I'm going to bring you in for one more break because I want to ask you just a couple more questions before I let you go because it's really your first time here on the program. And as we're going through this process, I think I want to bring you back because I want to talk about a whole bunch of other stuff. We can't do everything today. But stick around. Go nowhere. We'll be back more with Luz when we return. Mark Christopher, he is back in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading on the westbound side of I-84, you're going to see delays approaching the Bulkdale Bridge of 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound slows about a mile before 46 is an avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays is 33 down to 32 A and B. A little slow again down by exit 28. Another brief slowdown 19 to 18 in Meriden on the southbound side of 91. If you are traveling 291 westbound, you're going to see some slow traffic on the Bissell Bridge up to the 91 North Ramp. 291 eastbound slowing over the Bissell Bridge as you head into South Windsor. 2 westbounds tight 1D up to the 84 West merge. Heading into Middletown, 9 southbound delays Cromwell Middletown line to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound in Waterbury is slowing approaching 17 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. A little slow as you push down through Cheshire on the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 tight up 23 in Waterbury up to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Newtown slowing 9 to 11. And southbound on the Parkway, you've got slow traffic 50 in Hamden into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The rest of today, we keep things cool with some rain. Of course, those wet roads lowering visibilities around and leading to some slower travel. Coming down from a high in the upper 50s. Tonight, we are going to be cloudy with a few showers around a low of 51. Tomorrow, we stay cloudy and cool with a couple of showers, a high near 60 degrees. We'll be dry tomorrow night with partly cloudy skies and a low of 47. Saturday is mostly sunny and pleasant. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
5 o'clock, 58 degrees with some rain showers in the area. Good afternoon, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Republican Erin Stewart has suspended her campaign for governor. Here's WTIC's Morgan Cunningham.
Stewart's decision came within an hour of the public release of an investigation that offers a timeline and other evidence to support allegations she misused her P card from 2016 to 2025 while mayor of New Britain. The Crumbie Law Group investigation, which began at the city's request in January, outlines several alleged instances, including a Peppa Pig party to celebrate her daughter's second birthday in July of 2022. Decorations and clothes for the party were charged to her P card and sent to her personal address. The report shows photos from the party that had been posted to Facebook. The city is referring the findings of the investigation for state and federal prosecution. State police are also investigating. Stewart, in a written statement, says that she'll take accountability and adds that she intends to, quote, make full and complete restitution to the city of New Britain, my home, for anything that I owe, end quote. Stewart is now endorsing Ryan Fazio. She's encouraging delegates that were supporting her to support him instead this weekend.
Stewart also says in her statement that she will be stepping back from public life to address the issues. Her decision comes just before, as you heard from Morgan, this weekend's state Republican convention. GOP Chair Ben Proto says he and other party leaders spoke to Stewart before her campaign was suspended.
I think this is in the best interest of her and her family, her children, and for the party at this point. Obviously, she's got some major issues that she has to deal with, and she should focus her entire attention on those things and her family.
Proto says Republicans still have 2 strong candidates going into the convention for governor in Greenwich State Senator Ryan Fazio and former Lieutenant Governor of New York Betsy McCoy. Governor Lamont reacted to the news during an event at UConn earlier this morning.
There were some serious allegations. Got to get to the bottom of that. I respect her decision. I know how tough it was. You know, the Republicans are united now, coming out of the convention of this fall, and I certainly hope the Democrats will be as well.
President Trump says his talks with China's President Xi Jinping and Chinese officials went great, but Beijing still had a blunt warning for the U.S. regarding Taiwan.
On Iran, President Trump told Fox News that Xi said he would like to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz and said China agreed not to supply Iran with weapons.
He said he's not going to give military equipment. That's a big statement. He said that today. That's a big statement. He said that strongly. But at the same time, he said, they buy a lot of their oil there, and they'd like to keep doing that.
A senior administration official says Taiwan also came up, with both sides reiterating their long-held stance on the issue.
Correspondent Natalie Brand at the White House. Anyone thinking of taking part in a publicized planned teen takeover this weekend at West Farms Mall better think again. Social media posts have been cropping up about a gathering of young people at the mall on Saturday. Farmington police, along with West Hartford and mall management, say they're being proactive to ensure things don't get out of hand. As such, Farmington PD says it will be implementing a heightened presence with officers at the ready to curtail any disorderly behavior and ensure safety, adding that a strict zero-tolerance policy will be enforced. Police are also encouraging parents to speak to their kids about taking part in such gatherings and to report any suspicious activity. AI continues to be the major market force. Business reporter Jason Brooks has the recap of the day on Wall Street.
Stocks rallied to record highs, with the Dow once again topping 50,000 thanks to a series of AI developments, including Cisco cutting 4,000 jobs as it leans more into AI, with AI chipmaker NVIDIA reportedly getting clearance for advanced chip sales to a group of Chinese tech companies, and a spectacular debut for another AI chipmaker, Cerebras Systems, with its stock jumping 67% on its first day of trading. The Dow surged higher by 370 points to 50,063. The Nasdaq jumped 232 points to 26,635. The S&P gained 57 points to 7501. Jason Brooks, CBS News.
And for these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hey, baseball fans, you can win tickets to a Boston Red Sox game with the Red Sox Player of the Game contest. Just listen when we announce the player of the game during the 7th inning stretch. That would be during the break in the middle of the 7th inning, during every game broadcast on WTIC. Then tune into Brian and Company the following morning at 8:10. Know the player of the game, be the correct caller, and you'll win a pair of tickets to an upcoming game in Boston. It's the Red Sox Player of the Game contest, only on WTIC. News Talk 1080.
Making sense of it all and having fun. That's how we would sum up our show. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. It's what happens when you take a Gen Xer, a millennial, and a baby boomer and give them a radio show.
We go through the news the same way you and your friends would, taking the serious stuff seriously while also laughing at the absurd.
Each one of us brings a unique perspective to the news of the day, closing the generation gap in a way no other talk show can. Hear Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins weeknights 6 until 9 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
From politics to news to music to movies and anything above the sun
and outer space and beyond, it's Reese on the radio. Damn, he's good. Only on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We're still hanging out with Luz Elena Bueno. I'm trying very hard.
You're doing good.
You're trying to do it. I'm going to talk to you a little bit because I do want to ask you a couple of other questions. I think personally, in a minute and a half that I have here, I think one of the best parts about your campaign is, as much as I would normally frown on using identity politics in politics, you have a different approach on this because, in essence, you are talking about non-representation in these communities as opposed to what these communities are supposed to do based upon their ID. Does that make sense?
Yes, I feel that, a lot of these communities have kids because, the Hispanics and Black communities have kids young. So the school issue is an issue that directly affects them.
Right.
The small business, a lot of them run small businesses. So these are all issues that directly affect them, and they need representation. They need somebody to fight for what matters to them.
And I'll say this, that's the best part about this, is that you are actually going, because you can ask anybody else in any other campaign, I should say, and they'll just keep running the identity thing, but you're talking about the things that matter. The representation because they're small business owners, the representation because education is lacking in their community. Those are the things, and they're concrete and they're tangible things that you know that they care about. You're not pandering. You're actually meeting them where they find those things important. I'm going to go to a break before you say anything because they're going to make me go hard break for the traffic. But I love the fact that you're doing that. The way that you're approaching this as a minority issue is about issues, not just identity. So that's what I'm proud of you for doing that. Not that you need my accolades. But anyway, let's get another check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher's here. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, southbound 91 coming into Hartford, delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Again, down by exit 28, Hartford Weathersfield line. And you'll see a slowdown again approaching 19 in Meriden down to 17 on 91 South as you head down toward the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Northbound 91 slowing in Windsor, 35 up to exit 37. If you're traveling westbound 84, delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. 84 eastbound slows up half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound tied up, 1D up to the 84 West Merge. 291 eastbound slowing over the Bissell Bridge over to exit 2 in South Windsor. 9 southbound delays as you approach downtown Middletown and Harbor Park. If you are traveling 84 eastbound in Waterbury, you got delays now approaching 17 up to 18. And again, a little tight as you approach the 691 interchange in Cheshire. Westbound 84 in Waterbury slowing 23 up to the Mixmaster. Southbound Parkway delays 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by NJM Insurance Group.
If you dread dealing with your insurance more than you dread yard work, with a swarm of hungry mosquitoes buzzing around, then you might have Insuranoia. You should have NJM Insurance. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders.
WTIC weather.
Still dealing with some lingering rain for us. Could even be a rumble of thunder out there as we watch this heavier rain move through at this point in time. These are some lingering showers, and that'll continue into tonight. Cloudy, a passing shower, a low of 51. Heading through tomorrow, we're still cloudy, we're still cool, and there's still a couple of showers, a high of 60 degrees. Tomorrow night will be partly cloudy with a low of 47. Saturday, the start of the weekend, gorgeous. Mostly sunny, 75 for the high. Sunday, partly sunny and very warm, a high of 83. We're going to hold it in the 80s for Monday with a partly sunny sky and a high near 80. Right now it's 57 in Plainville, 56 in Vernon, and 59 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We're back. It's Reese on the radio. We are live. I was telling Elena Bueno, I'm trying to get the darn thing right, and I still can't do it, a little story behind the scenes. And I kept her here for a little bit longer because, Luz, I will tell you right off the bat. Oh, by the way, she's running in the 4th Congressional District. Please go to her website. It's luzbuenoforcongress.com. That's L-U-Z Bueno, B-U-E-N-O, for Congress.com to help her out. You had an approach about this with Hispanic kids and with black kids in the community. And I know that you're not familiar with this show, but if you ever listen to this show, you would immediately know Reese is going to take issue with the way in which you talk about dealing with Hispanic communities and Black communities and how they're being disenfranchised. Your earlier statement about how these kids need teachers that look like them. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I like you, don't get me wrong, and I love the fact that you're a conservative. I disagree with that remedy wholeheartedly. Why? Because I believe good teachers reach all kids. Although I do understand that there are some kids out there who believe that they need someone they identify with. I don't reject it. It's just not something that I believe in, because I believe good teachers can resonate with all kids. That's just a separate thing. But I get where you're coming from. I'm not saying you're wrong. If you have the studies that support it, I have no argument there. Yeah. So I just believe. I'll send them to you. Okay, good. Because like I said, you have to convince me. I look at it a completely different way. But what I was praising you for earlier was what you were talking about when it comes to dealing with the Hispanic and the Black community and reaching them where it matters most. See, you are not talking to them as if to suggest that because of their skin color, they need to vote for this, that, or the third. You are talking about the things that matter to them, kitchen table issues and their own prosperity, which is, again, the message that more Republicans need to be addressing when it comes to these communities. That's why I think your voice and the way in which you present it is important.
Yeah, well, I'm not a politician.
Okay.
So I am very authentic. What you see is what you get. I speak my mind. I feel that I don't even, to be honest with you, exactly know what it means, that thing of identity politics.
Okay.
But the point is that there is a problem on communities that I understand well because, well, I'm Hispanic. And I see a problem, and that's why I jump in to the race, because I'm not like a person that has been running and over. And I tell you one more thing, in the moment that I would no longer have a purpose, I would let another person take over.
Right.
Because I think that everybody should have, look, this is my mission. This is what I'm going to achieve. And then next time come back and say, look, this is how I'm doing, achieving this. Right. This is my progress, or I already got this done. Or, look, I have brought up these companies to Connecticut, and I have...
it's results-oriented.
Results-oriented, because that's how I feel that it should be. So I don't know what problem it is with me as a Hispanic saying, that we have a problem in the Hispanic community and we need to, and they need to be represented.
I don't want you to, I don't want you to think that I don't have any, it's really no pushback on that. What I'm saying to you is this, if I didn't articulate it well, let me restate it. What I'm saying is that the problem with the Republican Party in addressing minority voters is the fact that they only know what is presented to them on the other side when they address minority voters. When the Democrat Party addresses minority voters, they use things like immigration is their problem. Well, the legal immigrants in this country, illegal immigration means nothing to them. Black people, using terms like Jim Crow 2.0, those are racist dogmas that really never move the needle. What these communities care about aren't those two things. They care about the things that most people do, and that's being able to keep a roof over their head, getting their kids the greatest education they could possibly have, if not a better one, and to be able to give their kids something down the line, if not an inheritance, but at least something, that their kids are better off. And they are no different. This is my argument when I say, I talk to these civil rightsers all the time, Luce. And I said to them one day, and it starts the biggest argument ever. I said, what is a black agenda? And they go, what? What do you mean? You don't know what the black agenda is? I said, please understand what you're talking to me about. Because a black agenda would mean a political agenda that only benefits people based upon the black race. What are they? And the guy goes, education. What, the Asian doesn't benefit from that? He goes, well, we need fiscal responsibility because Asians don't care about fiscal. Tell me the one thing that black folks need in life that no other race can benefit from that is a black agenda. And you know what they do? Oh, man, forget it. I ain't talking to you no more, because they know that there is no such thing. The agenda of the American people, the agenda of Bridgeport, Connecticut residents, it is an agenda that crosses all political platforms, all racial identity, right? I mean, that fair to say?
Well, yeah, and clearly, if a Hispanic family lives in Westport,
right?
Well, they're probably not going to feel this is something that matters to them,
Right.
but it does because it's the same district.
Exactly. And that's the point that I'm making. And there are people who live in the ideological sphere who think that these are isolated to their particular race or identity. What I think that we can do as people is, one, we can use our own identity to get them into the fold of saying that, yes, this does affect Black communities, but here's how we can make it better. But we're addressing the actual problem, not that it's a racial issue, it's a financial one. It's an educational issue, not a racial one. That's kind of my point.
And,
yeah.
But there is something else. There is something else that I find very motivating.
Mm-hmm.
I want Hispanics and Black people to feel, you know what? Look at this lady. She doesn't even speak English well, and she's running. I'm running too.
Right.
Because we have 80 seats that nobody in the Republican Party is running for in Connecticut right now. 80.
Wow.
So I would like all those young people to go to the Republican Party website and look at all the positions that are available and jump in, because the communities themselves have to be
represented.
Because nobody, much better someone from Bridgeport representing Bridgeport. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they need to go and get into those positions to to represent themselves.
That is a very good point. And again, this is what I like about your campaign, is that you're addressing those identity issues with real issues that do address them. It isn't just based upon the identity of the politics. It is, you are talking about the fabric of things that affect their lives. That, in essence, what I'm saying to you is that when you get them past the identity, they start caring about the issues, and then identity is it's in a rear view mirror. They start talking about, yeah, man, we do need more charter schools. Yeah, we do need more businesses here, big businesses here. They'll get rid of all of that other nonsense that they're arguing about and start caring about the things that uplift the entire community. All tides lift all boats. Rising tides lift all boats. That's the kind of ideal we want.
Yeah.
But we have to get them where they are. And if they are at the identity space, we start there and we move them towards the unification of politics.
Well, I think what it is I took the time because I think the reason why a lot of times politicians try to reach the Hispanic and the Black communities and they don't, and it's like, well, just because you're Black. No, I think it's because I took my time to see the problem. And that is why I decided to run, because I saw the problem.
Right.
I mean, it's not the problem motivated me, not because there are Hispanics. I knew there are Hispanics. I get my haircut done by Hispanics. I eat arepas. I mean, I know there are Hispanics in the district,
Yeah.
But I have not run before because I didn't realize this problem that we have.
How long
I
have you
didn't realize also how many, when I start going to meetings of Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and things like that, I start realizing how many Hispanics have small businesses. It's massive.
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something else that motivated. And I was like, well, they need small business loans. They need help because those are difficult to fill in the forms and to reach them.
And a lot of them don't even know that they exist.
They don't know.
I've talked to a lot of business owners here who have tried to get a lot of their own community. They're not necessarily Black or Hispanic. I know some Albanians who know how to sort of work through that system. But it's true. It's a system that many people in those communities know nothing about the grants that are available, about the help that's available on a federal level, even on a state level. They're mostly ignored. What I also find fascinating, and that's the reason why I brought it up earlier about the whole marijuana dispensary idea, that really bothered me. It was one of the first times when I first got here to WTIC, I saw all of these stories about how they were going to get more and more of the Black community selling weed. And I went, can we move away from that, that we have to be drug dealers? There were so many other businesses we could own.
No, they don't want to. Hartford doesn't want to spend the money on opening schools
Right.
that they are happy to open marijuana dispensaries.
I know. Just trust me. I've argued this over and over again that it is it's the most egregious slap in the face to a community ever, especially when you put in your mission statement, for all of the hardships that we put them through, locking them up in the war on drugs. We're going to make them legal drug dealers now. And I go, what? It's embarrassing.
No.
So.
No, and the problem is, imagine for the young families. Families, they have to go to work. Their kids are coming from school, and they're walking in front of the dispensary.
Yeah.
And then all the people consuming and buying and selling and smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really infuriating. There's no other word to say that. I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, but that's so racist.
I know.
I mean, that's
Thank
so
you.
crazy.
You said it. I've never used the word racist ever in my life. But no, you bring up a good point. It was exactly how I felt sitting here listening to these folks talk about how great of an opportunity it was for people who had been incarcerated to go right back into the business of selling marijuana for the state. It was ridiculous. But I love the fact that you were talking about, other businesses and small businesses that are already here that are being ignored, that a lot of people don't know are even here. It's nice that someone is actually looking to those people and thinking about how we can expand upon that. 60% of the employment we have in this country come directly from small businesses. So that's what we need
Most of the
to.
economic growth comes from small businesses.
Exactly.
And, exactly. So,
And that's the reason why we need to uplift that more and more in this state alone. Even if we're losing sort of the big businesses that used to be here, I think that if we can at least expand on the smaller businesses or here, the moms and pops, and sort of have an atmosphere that we're business friendly, the other companies will follow suit.
Yes, and I feel, the reason we need the good jobs, good paying jobs also, is because those are the people that consume a lot, that go to the restaurants, that go, you know what I mean? That are
absolutely.
the small businesses
Yeah.
that order the Amazon a lot, that are, so there's like a retrofeed there that feeds the small businesses.
Absolutely.
That the people that clean the offices where those big jobs are. So those good paying jobs are not like a big job, it's a good paying job. That's what I mean. I think that both things are important. Both there is a regulatory issue that we need to correct.
Need to address that.
And there is there.
I think we need to promote. After we get rid of that regulation, I think that we promote that those regulations have been lifted so that we can get those businesses back here. I think that's a key part of this.
I think it's like an active job
Yeah.
that, congressmen and women from other states are actively going, look,
Yeah.
I want you to come to Connecticut. I want you to come to Connecticut. Oh, there is this habit. Oh, come to Connecticut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to be actively asking people. And obviously, you need cooperation in Hartford for the Connecticut to be business friendly.
I remember when former governor of Texas, Rick Perry, was going to California and was telling the businesses in California, said, we got no income tax over here. And sure enough, businesses, they packed up and they left. People thought that what Rick Perry was doing was evil. But those businesses said, hey, man, I can't afford the taxes in California anymore. And it only got worse after they left, which is a perfect example. Folks, go to luzbuenoforcongress.com. That is L-U-Z Bueno, B-U-E-N-O for Congress.com. Luz Bueno, because I'm going to stop trying to say your middle name because it's only screwing me up. Luz, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. It has been fantastic to have you. And we'll bring you back. Are you going to the convention by any chance?
Yes.
You will be there?
Yeah,
Good.
we'll be there tomorrow.
We'll see you there. I got to rearrange some stuff, but I will be there tomorrow as well.
Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure, and thank you for sticking around. We'll take a break in a second, and we will, reconvene with a whole bunch of stuff we need to talk to. Stick around for a second, you guys, but I'll cut off your mics and everything, but stick around. We'll take pictures and all that good stuff because they like to put that stuff on the social media campaigns and all that crap, whatever. All right, we'll be back. Mark Christopher is here. He is at the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. And this traffic report being brought to you by Whittlesey. And if you're 91 southbound coming into Hartford, delays 33 down to 32 A and B, again down by exit 28. More slow traffic as you move 19 to 17 in Meriden. If you are traveling on the northbound side of 91, a little slow in Hartford, 33 up to 34. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, you're running slow about a mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. A little slow again as you move out by the 384 interchange. 2 westbounds tight, 1D up to the 84 west merge. 9 southbound Middletown slowing, approaching the Aragoni Bridge. Looks like we have an accident now. Route 9 northbound, looks like it's just north of exit 32 in Berlin. The left lane is blocked there. Stay to the right. Delays are pushing back toward 31 behind that. 84 eastbound in Waterbury, got delays approaching 17 up to 18. Look out for some slow traffic again down by the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 Waterbury slowing from 25 up to exit 22. Southbound Parkway, you've got delays from 50 in Hamden into the West Rock Tunnel. Whittlesey wants your business to succeed. Whittlesey is more than an accounting firm. They're advocates for your business, delivering a robust set of solutions, including audit, tax, technology, cybersecurity, and advisory services. Learn more at WAdvising.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The rest of today, we are cool with the rain still lingering around as we come down from a high in the upper 50s. Tonight, we keep the showers around, at least the chance for a few of them. Cloudy with a low of 51. Tomorrow, we are still cloudy, still cool, and yes, still have a few showers out there for us, a high near 60 degrees. As we go into tomorrow night, we get the chance to dry out. It's partly cloudy with a low of 47. The weekend should start off really nice for us. It's mostly sunny and pleasant on Saturday with a high of 75 degrees. But we're going to get warmer as we go into Sunday. Sunday is partly sunny with a high of 83 degrees. Monday will be partly sunny with a high near 80 degrees. And as we head through Tuesday and Wednesday, we are going to add back the chance for some showers and thunderstorms, but highs will continue to stay very warm. We're going to be in the 80s, even the mid 80s as we go through the middle of the week. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Former New Britain Mayor Erin Stewart is suspending her campaign for governor. The decision and announcement coming as an independent report dropped this morning into her use of a city purchase or P-card during her tenure in office. The report states Stewart rang up over $200,000 in charges, much of it for personal items, including babies' diapers, toys, makeup, clothing, men's and women's clothing, shoes, party favors, and more. In announcing that she was stepping out of the race, Stewart threw her support behind Greenwich State Senator Ryan Fazio and urged her delegates to do likewise at the top of the GOP convention, that is, this weekend. The investigation remains ongoing, with the current mayor calling the former mayor's use of the P-card in violation of city policy. Mayor Bobby Sanchez has referred the spending records to prosecutors, and state police are also conducting an investigation into Stewart's use of the credit card. The Justice Department is accusing Yale of illegally considering race in its medical school admissions. It's the second such DOJ allegation against a medical school this month. The Assistant Attorney General says in a letter to Yale that data show Black and Hispanic students have a higher chance of admission to the medical school than white or Asian students, despite lower grades and test scores. Last week, the DOJ notified UCLA of similar allegations. Local police are putting the word out. Anyone thinking of taking part in a publicized takeover this weekend at West Farms Mall should think twice. Social media posts, they say, have been circulating about such a gathering of young people at the mall set for Saturday. Farmington Police, along with West Hartford Police and mall management, say they're being proactive to ensure things don't get out of hand. China President Xi Jinping warned President Trump that their two countries could clash over Taiwan if the issue is not handled properly. That was an unusually harsh admonition that stood in contrast to Trump's praise for his counterpart. The exchange today at the summit in Beijing underscoring how far apart Trump and Xi remain on some thorny issues. And state senators in Louisiana have passed a new congressional map after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the previous one. New plan would eliminate a majority black district, giving Republicans a chance to win an additional seat in the November midterm elections. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 370 points today to move back over the 50,000 mark. The S&P was up 56 points, and the NASDAQ up 232. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app. Search WTIC News Talk 1080 and tap earlier today to get started.
All right, we're back. Let's do the thing. News. Hey, today in music news, happy birthday goes to Miranda Cosgrove. And this is actually a young lady. Wow, she's as old as one of my kids. Born in 1993, she was from the TV show iCarly. I know Roland remembers that show. Yeah, he didn't watch it, but I know he knows it. That's from his era. Dan Auerbach is from the Black Keys, turns 47. It's one of my favorite bands. Raphael Sadiq, your homeboy's not going to be happy about this. Raphael Sadiq, he turned 60 today. Ian Ashberg from the group The Cult, we were just talking about them yesterday. CeCe DeVille, the American guitarist from the group Poison, turns 64. Danny Wood from New Kids on the Block turns 57. Shanice, I Like Your Style. Remember her? Age is 53. I didn't know she was much younger than me. David Byrne from the Talking Heads. I love David Byrne. Same as it ever was. He turned 74. Jay Beckenstein from the Spyro Gyra band, the saxophonist, turned 75. And Bobby Darin, remember him? From Mac the Knife. He died in 1973, but his birthday is today. Also, milestones and anniversaries. 24 years ago, Rush released Vapor Trails, their first studio album in years after personal tragedies. In 1996, Def Leppard released Slang. In 1991, Primus released Sailing the Seas of Cheese. 1988, 38 years ago, Atlantic Records' 40th anniversary concert at Madison Square Garden featured a rare Led Zeppelin reunion with Jason Bonham on drums, plus Bee Gees, Foreigner, Genesis, and others who were there. In 1982, 44 years ago, The Clash released Combat Rock. 1969, the year of my birth, Neil Young today released Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. This was his second solo album with Crazy Horse backing. And in 1971, 55 years ago, Pink Floyd releases a compilation album called Relics. All of that on May 14th in music. It's also my stepson Ethan's birthday today. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Reese. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and to everyone. If you are traveling into Hartford, seeing delays now, 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge in East Hartford, out to 45 Flatbush. Southbound 91 delays 33 to 32 A and B, and again 27 to 28 in Hartford. A little slow again, 19 to 17 in Meriden. If you are traveling on Route 2 westbound, delays 1D up to the 84 West merge. 3 northbound's a little slow by exit 13B and C in Glastonbury heading to the Route 2 ramps. If you are traveling into Waterbury, 84 eastbound, you got delays from 16 up to 18, an accident reported there. If you are traveling on the westbound side of 84, delays from exit 25 up to exit 22. And 84 eastbound in Newtown, you got delays approaching 9 up to exit 11. Southbound Parkway a little slow as you move down by exit 50 and Hamden down into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We've got some heavier showers cutting through the area, especially along 84 Waterbury and working their way on in. Know that there is some heavy rain out there that'll not only slow you down, but we'll see some showers lingering into tonight. It's cloudy with a low of 51 tonight. Still a shower possible. Tomorrow will be cloudy and cool. Still a couple of showers, a high near 60 degrees. And then we are partly cloudy as we go into tomorrow with a low of 40, tomorrow night, I should say, with a low of 47. Saturday starts off the weekend just lovely. Mostly sunny, a high of 75. Sunday is partly sunny, a little warmer with a high of 83. And we'll keep it warm on Monday. Partly sunny, a high near 80. Right now it's 58 in Canton, 57 in South Windsor, and 59 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Have bad teeth that need to be replaced? Don't like removable dentures? Worry no more. Come on down to Columbia Implant Center in Manchester any day of the week and ask for the All-on-4 procedure. Call us at 860-643-1898.
Hi, Eric Hogarth with Money Wisdom. Tune in this week, and as we discuss practical strategies to grow your portfolio, we also have a few updates on the market. Tune in on Money Wisdom, TIC News Talk 1080.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is. You know who it is.
It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, that's about it for the day. And this is one of those days that feels long and feels short all at the same time. But those of you who contacted me earlier today, I was at a very long meeting here at the station, and I got to meet a great, very, very good guy who's a talent coordinator here. And the meeting was sort of talking about like how to engage the audience and all that stuff, and it was a great meeting. But while that was happening, I was getting all of these text messages from everybody. It was like, did you hear? Did she hear? She suspended her campaign. Did you hear? Did you hear? And I thank you all for doing that. And I know that you were all excited to reach me in particular. I almost felt like, in a lot of ways, that it was something personal. It never was. There is nothing personal here. I do have to say that all of this that's going on has to be evaluated in a lot of ways, and I'm going to spend a lot of time today going over that in my head. I'm going to make a few phone calls. I'm going to talk to some people. I'm clearly going to talk to my colleagues here, talk about what's next. Believe it or not, folks, the campaign started at 11 o'clock today. If it didn't start at the beginning of the year. And there's a lot of people. And I'm not sure it's a lot of people, but there are a lot of people who sort of got hit in the gut today. Boom. And they were sort of down in the luck. Damn it. And they lashed out. They screamed at people. Bobby Sanchez, Ned Lamont. They even yelled at Erin. Erin. And I get those folks. I know what it's like when the candidate that you're rooting for loses. It sucks. Oh, it sucks. What you're recognizing, that pain, that gut check, when Erin says, I'm suspending the campaign, what you're feeling is your investment being let down, your emotional one. It's an emotional investment, especially when you convinced yourself that you've picked the right person. You picked the person that's going to go over the top, and you feel like if that person makes it, that you played a part in it. In one way or another, you donated. You showed up. You're telling all your friends, hey, this guy or gal is my guy or gal. And then when it goes south, you immediately retreat. First, the anger starts. Damn it! The blaming starts. Yo! Then the embarrassment. Your friends calling you. Saying, hey, didn't you tell me that this was a good idea? I don't want to talk about it now. This was messed up, and it just makes you angrier and angrier. Because you've invested. It's personal. Get it. Totally get it. It's one of those things that can make you retreat. I'm not even gonna participate. If I may, for a little bit, explain or ask you a couple of questions. What were you in this for? Regardless of Erin Stewart or Ryan Fozzie or Betsy McCoy, what were you in it for? What was your goal? And I want you to think about that on any level. What's the goal? Roseanne and I have this back and forth when we're in the car. And I hope that you'll forgive me for making a simple comparison to all of this. Roseanne and I will be driving in the car. And it won't be a long ride. Let's say the ride, it's Mohegan Sun. It's about an hour away. And we're not going there for a concert. We're just going because she's never been. The objective is to get there because that's a part of our day. We're going to see Mohegan Sun. And in driving in the car, the person in front of us in a one-lane highway because there's construction is doing 35 miles per hour in a 50-mile-per-hour zone. And Roseanne is next to me screaming, and she's reaching over to the steering wheel. She's trying to press the horn, and I'm flicking her hand away. What are you doing? I'm trying to get his attention. You're not driving. Well, he's slowing us up. He's doing 35 miles per hour. Okay. Well, he's slowing us down. Yeah, I get it. Well, doesn't it annoy you? No. Why doesn't it annoy you? I'm going to Mohegan Sun. I'm moving in a forward position. There is no clock. The objective is to get there safely. To get there and have a good time. I know what the mission is. I know exactly what I have to endure when I get there, when I'm on the road. I got to deal with traffic. I got to deal with construction. I got to deal with bozos who go slow. I got to deal with a moron who's speeding, cutting me off. I got to deal with a whole bunch of tractor trailers and 18-wheelers that are hogging up the road. I may have to deal with rain. I may have to deal with snow. All of those obstacles are going to be there, and I can be as angry and ticked off about all of it, but I will lose focus. I'm trying to get to Mohegan Sun. And when I get there, I can have all the fun in the world, and then I got to do it all over again, and guess where my focus is then? Getting home. Everything that happens in between is just a distraction. But I can inundate myself with all of the things that I had to endure while getting there and have it screw up the entire time I'm there in Mohegan Sun or the time that I spent when I get home. I can inundate myself with the anger of all the stuff I went through and lose focus on the destination. So I'm asking you, how long are you going to focus on the traffic, on the weather, on the construction, on the idiot who cuts you off? You can pull over and get into a road rage incident with said driver on the road and get into a fight that ends up with the police involved, and you end up in jail, or you end up with a ticket, or you end up hurting somebody, or you getting hurt, never making it to the destination because you know what? Only thing you cared about was what was happening on the journey and not focusing on the destination and getting there by any means necessary. You got distracted. We all were. But as I said to you yesterday, the game was over. You're going to have to get over it and get to the result. What's the destination here, folks? What's the destination? What is the Mohegan Sun right now? Unseating Ned Lamont, isn't it? Isn't that the destination? Well, I would suggest you guys get in the car and let's get there. And let's do it unified. We all get to celebrate at the end, folks. We can lick our wounds when we lick our wounds, but we win. Isn't that the goal? Isn't that the destination? You can't let all of that other stuff get you down. Dust yourself off and behave like adults. I don't ever treat this stuff like I lost my binky or my favorite blanket got torn up. I got a job. And I don't know whether or not you folks know how to win here. I don't. I have no clue. You haven't proven that to me yet. Because I listen to you. You call here all the time. You comment on my Facebook page and my X page. And you tell me every day, we can't do it. It's not going to happen. Blah, blah. Who are you trying to convince? You're not convincing me. I don't operate like that. And as arrogant as it sounds, the first time I said it when I got here, let me repeat it. I am going to teach you how to win whether you like it or not. And it is not going to be with the buts or maybes or probablys. It's going to be, we are going to win. It is an attitude. It is a confidence that I know a lot of you have had deflated. But I believe in you, even if you don't believe in yourselves. And I think that's what you need, is somebody to come here and breathe life into you and to tell you you can win this thing. You can beat the odds. You can fight. You can stand up. You can send these people packing. You do not have to worry nor be afraid. And if it's too much for you to do, that's cool. We will not cite you for wanting to celebrate after the victory. Absolutely, come one and come all. But when we win, you don't get to tell us that we can't anymore. The only thing that we ask you to do in the future is to join in the fight. And if you can't, shh, be quiet. We don't need people who are not going to cheerlead for us. I'm sorry that sounds messed up, but truth be told, save that for, join your little group that says, look at them, look at those crazies trying to win. Go join that group. Go join the naysayers. We'll make a website for you. WeCan'tDoIt.com. That's what we'll call it. Join that. But only winners are allowed over here. People who believe. People are going to get out and stomp the yard, walk the walk, talk the talk, pick up people, drive them to the polling places, unseat Lamont. Get rid of Oakley Dokley. Put an end to all of this. I really, really do. I more than believe. I know. I'm listening to these people who think that they know this stuff up and down, and I'm telling you, I don't want to say their name because then it would only be rude of me to say it. But again, like I said earlier in the program, 30 minutes earlier, that one person looked at me and said, do you think she's going to drop out? I said, any minute now. And then 30 minutes later, it came over the wire and they went, she dropped out. And they looked at me like I was crazy. And I just looked at them and I just went, told you. I'm not trying to brag. I know I'm going to come off like I am. But what am I going to have to do? Reggae Don told me a couple of weeks ago, no, hell, a couple of months ago. He goes, you really think you're going to win? I said, I know I am. And I said, and when I do, what are you going to say? You're going to say, I'm going to tell you you were right. It's crazy to have that kind of confidence, ain't it? It's crazy, right? It sounds crazy. You're saying to yourself, why? What does he know? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. So, we can all work on it, folks. You naysayers, have some faith. That's all it takes. Have a little bit of faith. Not in me. Just have some faith. Something's happening. Do you feel it? I do. You got to believe. I just showed up. There are some things that just happen and they just do, and you start to see the patterns and you just go, that's interesting. Huh, I remember that. This isn't Mars, folks. It's Connecticut. It's not Mars. Craig in the car says, my goal is to live in a state that I don't want to leave every day. Yeah. Can I tell you what my motivation is? This is the first place that my wife didn't want to move out of 15 minutes after we got here. She loves it here. And I loved it over 20 years ago. And I think God brought me back for a reason. And I really, really believe he did. So when I say, do you feel it? I say, yes, I do. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. You have a good night, pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you back here at 2 p.m. Roseanne will be here. The boys coming in.
You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
That's the bad guy. That's what they need. I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Mark Christopher is here. He's getting you home right before the Red Sox game. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Good night, sir.
Good night, Reese. Thank you. Southbound 91 coming into Hartford. You got delays 32A and B. Another minor slowdown down by exit 28.